family, family, family.
He's so good, he's so good, he's so good. James, he's so
Yeah,
good.
so
Hello, small screen viewers. Welcome. Edward's running a bit late today, and we've got Clint joining me very soon, because you know how I'll drown on this. Let's see who we got in the comments. We got Kevin Feige talking about his ninjas. All right. Raj. Nice to see you again, Raj. You will be in the show later. And we got By the Beard of Zeus. Haven't seen him in a while. Good to see you. Thank you very much for coming. Yes, my new nickname is Professor James. I'm the guy in the chair, that's for sure. What's up, Multiverse Productions? Socks Boltons, how you doing? Thanks for joining. We had Chrisla. She stopped in before her class, or he, and catch you on the replay. So if you're watching the replay, good to see you. Who else we got here? eBoard 3R. We got a new viewer. I like that icon. That's very cool. Good to see you. Prince Zodiac is back. Welcome, Prince Zodiac. One day you're gonna have to show us pictures of what's in your hand there. I think it looks like a claymation or like a clay thing or something. And we've got Reese in the chat.
hello there.
Welcome. Christopher J. Lafalce. I will throw you some love over here also before I head out to class. Thank you very much. You have a great class, brother. We got Curtis in the house. How you doing, Curtis?
Call it, Sanchez, or you'll get a knuckle supper.
And we've got Jedi Master EJ. Hopefully he can pop on later. He's putting up Christmas lights. Hello there.
Hello, Peter.
Hello there.
Oh, thank you, Corey. Good to see you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're digging that chill countdown there. That's well, you would know, Reese. I guess you would know. And we've got Socks Boltons. Hello again.
Anyway, enough about our balls.
And here we've got Clint.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Small Screen. It's good for me to be back with James, just hanging out, full of energy. What's happening? Hey, what's up, James? How you doing, man? It's nice to hear you out front talking, man. You're usually like lurking in the shadows, like waiting for your next victim.
Yeah, my next victim. Either I cut myself off or.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So what'd you get up to this week? What'd you watch?
Oh goodness, man! It's been a crazy week. I feel like I haven't talked to y'all in weeks.
Right.
I've stayed busy. I've watched what is it? Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time. I'm watching that. I'm really getting into that show. It's but it's one of those quest shows where it's like I feel like something's about to happen, and then you get to the next episode, and then you're like, man, I could just feel it. Something is about to happen, and a little happens, but it's still really, really good. But it's what I don't like about the Lord of the Rings movies, because I feel like they're just walking the whole time, and sooner or later it's going down, but we're gonna walk for a long time. That's kind of how I feel on this. And granted, it's a fantasy quest movie, and they're on a mission or TV show, I should say. So the long story short is I'm really enjoying it. I really enjoyed Hawkeye. What are you watching?
I watched Hawkeye. Yeah, I haven't caught Wheel of Time yet. I think I'm gonna wait to binge that.
Do that, because I was thinking that I wished I had done that, because I'm like, okay, next episode, and I'm like, dude, just watch the whole thing at once is what I should have done.
Yeah, I'm thinking of doing that with the last half of the Yellowstone season 4 too, because that's just been not really filler, but it's a bit slow moving. Like, would you say Wheel of Time it's not delivering on the build up, or is it?
No.
Or do you feel like it's an unearned delay?
It's built. It's gonna pay. I feel like I'm getting my money's worth on this show so far. It's fantastic, and it's just basically setting a foundation. I hope the show gets 5 seasons. It's really good.
Wow.
I feel like once once I know everything about the universe, and granted, I didn't read the books, so, like a lot of people, but once I know everything that I need to know, I'm gonna want more and more of the show, as long as I don't screw it up.
Nice. How's the beard makeup?
Yeah, there's no bad beard makeup.
No
Definitely,
Jupiter's Legacy.
yeah, it's definitely an Amazon show, not a Netflix beard, for sure.
Before we get into Hawkeye, let's say Danzig, thank you so much. He can't make the show tonight, but he had to support Ed, James, and Clint. Merry Christmas to you all in all of the chat. Yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone. It's coming up fast every time. Always seems like it comes up fast. But yeah, thanks, Danzig. We'll leave this up here for you. Appreciate the super chat.
That guy's always supporting everything. I always appreciate that guy.
Danzig's the man. Yeah,
he is.
We've got to get him back on the show. He's great. He first came on with his earbuds. I remember that. That was a fun time. So Hawkeye. This was the first episode that I actually enjoyed straight out of the gate. I thought it was the best one so far. A lot of people disagree with me, but there wasn't too much that I felt was the writing wasn't lacking, and it was and it was subtle. Clint, it was actually subtle.
Yes, it was. I feel like all of this has kind of been universe building for people that don't know the story, and just setting up and trying to connect the dots for everyone. And sometimes they have to be real obvious for people. But like this one, I agree with you. It was not. It was a little more subtle. It's like, okay, we've already done the explaining. Let's get into the good stuff. Let's start giving the surprise stuff that people want to see and getting into all that. I dug it. Are we doing spoilers at all here?
I guess we could do spoilers or some vague stuff. I mean, like,
well, I mean, if you gotta like not be on the internet to not realize that the Black Widow 2 is showing up. You know what I mean?
Right. When they were across the building and all the lights were out, and I was thinking, well, maybe that's Daredevil's apartment. Is either Daredevil or Echoes. Yeah. But there's some good fight scenes in that one too.
Fantastic fight scenes, and I feel like they did a little bit of development on like her training as far as with the fight scene and what she does, how she reacts to certain things. I feel like she's learning from him a little bit. As resistant as he's being, like he doesn't want to be a mentor to her. He's like trying to be safe, but she's picking stuff up, and it's just falling in his lap. He's like, like it or not, I got to teach this girl some stuff. There's a part where she could have taken a shot and she paused, and I feel like that was earlier in the episode. He made it a point to say, my best shot was the one I didn't take. So I felt like maybe she learned something from that, or she just chickened out because this is one of her first real fights. I don't, with it, it's one thing to judo punch somebody in the face, another thing to shoot him with an arrow and kill him. You know what I mean? So. She's still a young hero, and who knows what she's gonna be figuring out as she goes.
Would you think of the meeting between Clint and Haley Steinfeld's parents, the swordsman and her mother?
Oh, her mom.
Because we didn't get the swordsman saying, "Oh, hey, it's Hawkeye. What's going on?"
Yeah, so that's So that's. But you get a bunch of other stuff. For one, she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna trust everyone at the table." And so that's kind of weird that she would phrase it like that. You know what I mean? The way she said that, that was kind of weird. I'm like, why are you? I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It seemed like it was an agreement between all parties. Like you had 4 separate parties at the table instead of it being like Hawkeye and a family. You know what I mean? So that's kind of weird. Also, once Clint, and also I thought it was slick that he was able to take the sword. And then part of me, and I think I'm overthinking it, but part of me thought, what if they wanted him to take that sword? Like, and I'm like, well, that's a whole lot of planning and build up. And I'm looking way too far into it, but I kind of thought it was a little too easy for him to take the sword. So I don't know if that's going somewhere.
Yeah, he would have had to fold it up like in mid stride when he grabbed it.
Yeah, well, they just left it. They just left it sitting there, and he just kind of grabbed it and got and he's supposed to be slick Avenger guy anyway. But I feel like I feel like the swordsman wouldn't have just left it lying around. He would have put it someplace. Like I feel like the number one rule of being a good swordsman is making sure the other people don't end up with your sword. So
especially a sword that he bid so much money on. Right?
Yeah. So maybe there's like a tracking device on this thing or something. Like they want to follow. They want to follow him, or I don't know. That was overthinking maybe, but
no, that's good point. I was thinking more technical, like when he folded the sword up, it would have made a bunch of noise because every time it detracts and everything, it just makes a bunch of noise, right?
Yeah, well, and they're making this guy look like such a dummy, goofy mustache twirling guy. I'm like, maybe he's not as stupid as they're making him look, and
that's a false front.
Yeah, right? So I don't know, but what was super interesting. And what the internet's been talking about is Clint's wife and how knowledgeable she is about everything and how in the know and how she starts speaking German. And there's a lot of talk online that she might be Mockingbird. And
she knows a lot of the strategies and stuff that Clint's used, right? So.
Yes, and she knows, and then she was like, "Yeah, I made a quick call, blah blah blah." Like she's tied into where she can just do a background check on people all of a sudden and come back in 5 minutes with some results for Clint. You know what I mean? She did a whole bunch, so it wouldn't be the way she's been behaving and the skills that she has, and also not being paranoid about Clint going off with Natasha and not being worried about him doing a catch and release. Oh, Natasha's old gig. It sure sounds like she's a former agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and maybe has the training because she's got all of it. She just knows. She's just way too good at this. You know what I mean? Even for a wife of Hawkeye, she seems a little too good. So, and he also does some talk about he's like, yeah, if they get that watch, there's information that'll burn an old associate of mine, and I can't let that happen. I think it's his wife, not to mention they have his family listed on the piece of paper next to the watch. So I have a feeling that she, I could be wrong, and I'm not the only person on the internet who said this, but a lot of people are theorizing this, but it's because it seems obvious. If not, they're making it look like she's a Mockingbird. So
yeah, I agree.
Because in the comics, he's got a relationship with Mockingbird in the comics, so that would make sense.
I also think that watch has some information on it, like a chip or like some kind of holographic thing, because they said it was at Avengers compound, right?
Yes.
Was he? I wonder. I have to go back and watch Endgame, see if he's wearing it before the explosion, before Thanos attacked.
It could have been something that she had. It could have all the files of a whole bunch of agents. It could be a watch that she had on like for some mission that's got her information in there. Like there's all kinds of stuff. And if all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm going to retire and become a mom, we're going to hide you. And because Clint's family's not supposed to be known, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be secret up until now when he appears in public, and go into the theater and stuff. But his family's supposed to be secret. So it would stand to reason that like, hey, cool, your wife's gonna have your kids, and we're gonna put you in the S.H.I.E.L.D. protection program, and you're gonna disappear. And one of the old pieces of your watch showed up. Plus, when he's talking about that watch, she was like, "Did you find the watch?" He's like, "Yeah, the watch, or did it get destroyed with the compound?" And they were talking. Oh, I thought it got destroyed. No, apparently it didn't. It's still around. Okay, we got to get that thing back. Like.
Well, wouldn't that information, like if they were in witness protection, be revealed when Natasha leaked everything online during Civil War at the end there?
I have
like all S.H.I.E.L.D. secrets, all of Hydra secrets. Yeah, that's a bit of unresolved. Yeah, we got some great. Go ahead.
Oh no, I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to say anything important. Yeah, I was like, yeah, there's a lot of questions to be asked, and that's just one part of it. We still got to wonder if we're going to see Kingpin coming in soon. And there's a lot of online rumors that one of them that I read on some article for some magazine called Small Screen that said that the internet might get mildly broken on episode 5 of this, which leads me to believe Kingpin's going to show up because it's going to be right before they reveal Daredevil in Spider-Man, which is a whole other thing. So there's just a lot of pieces of this onion unfolding. What do we got on the questions before I ramble on even longer?
Edward and Mike have been reporting that Kingpin will be showing up, so definitely, I'm looking forward to that. I hope I hope they don't retract it, like re-edit it. That's a good point you made, that Charlie Cox will be showing up in Spider-Man No Way Home the week after, right? So I have to set that up.
And the other thing, and we all know from Mikey and Edward's articles and stuff, is that Kevin Feige just last week finally just said, oh yeah, if we were gonna have Daredevil, it would be Charlie Cox if he was coming up. So like, why would he's just not gonna just say that for no reason. I have a feeling he's about to get unveiled in the Spider-Man movie, and I have a feeling Kingpin's gonna happen right before that. So
nice. Yeah, I was cursing Kevin Feige. I was like, why can't you just be clear for once? Like just say yes, he's coming. Yeah, Danzig makes a good point. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you can. If you're first time here, if you're not already subbed, we'd really appreciate that. That helps our channel grow. And you can check out all our videos that we make, because we spend a lot of time on those, and we're very busy.
Yes.
Okay,
you're the
great.
busiest man on the internet.
All right, Beer Zeus showed up. Hello, welcome. No worries, brother. He says he wants Clint Hawkeye to use the sword as an arrow to kill swordsman. That'd be a really good scene and turn around. Sword was bait. Ronan would be the one that would steal it back. True. That's very true. It's odd that the swordman didn't even notice it was gone. Well, Clint's got a good point about it was probably for real, right? It's probably meant to be. Therefore, giving him up as Ronan. Yep. Okay. So who else we got here? TJ's in the house. Welcome, TJ. Good to see you again. Prelude to the reunion. Yes, it's going to be a little mini STMF Super Team Megaforce reunion. And Clint's wife did trick Stark into the barn to fix the tractor to see Nick Fury in Age of Ultron. That's a good point, too. So, yeah, Clint, I think you're right. She was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. or maybe a Black Widow. That's what Beard of Zeus said. Maybe she's an ex-Black Widow, and that's how Clint met her.
I think she's
the shot that Hawkeye didn't take was his wife, and he lied to Kate by saying it was Nat. Oh, I don't know, because you have to think about the timeline of when he met his wife and when he met Nat, right? If he met Nat before, then that was a shot he didn't take. So, okay, so let's delete that comment. Nice spam there about herpes. All right. Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio is a brilliant actor. I've always liked him, but then I started watching that Law and Order Criminal Intent, I think it was.
Oh yeah.
And he's great in it. Except like after like 3 seasons, just kind of starts becoming recycled. So
well, you get burned out.
So yeah, it's true. You're playing a role that's like so much. We are just gonna.
Is this where I'm supposed to say what is all this about? And he says, "Shut up! I asked the question."
Yeah, shut
hey,
up.
Look who
I
it
ask
is.
the questions.
Welcome, Edward.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, James? How you doing, Clint?
How you doing, Ed?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay? Is everything our sound
Fantastic.
Brilliant. All right. Wonderful.
I like those Is those comics in the background?
Yeah.
They're Star Wars posters, if you can tell. It's actually the Christmas gift that Freddie got for me a couple of years back, and I finally put them in frames, and I thought they'd do quite well for a background. So I'm no longer in a void.
Mm-hmm. No longer in the John Oliver eggshell void, right?
Yeah, I've abandoned the void. Yeah. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. We're talking a bit about Hawkeye, and every time they say, "Hey, Clint's wife in the barn," I'm like, "What are you saying about my wife?" I twitch every time somebody says Clint.
My wife.
I didn't even know I got married. That's weird. That's the weirdest thing about Hawkeye is hearing them say Clint all the time. It makes me what?
It's almost like you're in a Harrison Ford movie. It's like, I want my family back. I want my family back. Have you got my family? I want my family back.
Liam Neeson is the Hawkeye.
We've got to go back for arrows.
So, we got a question about the Punisher from Raj. How do you guys think Kevin Feige will handle characters like the Punisher, Blade, Daredevil, and Deadpool to fit into the MCU? That kind of ties into the Punisher series report that we reported on.
Yeah.
But go ahead. You guys take the ball on this one.
What? The short answer for me is if they pull the Kingpin Band-Aid off, it's open season for Jessica Jones and Nick Cage and all of those guys
for
as far
sure.
as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? So
how are they going to
back you,
handle
Edward.
them? How are they going to handle them? Because they're like R-rated. They're pretty dark and violent. I think they're going to be on Disney Plus Star. I think that's what it's going to be on, and not Hulu.
17.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing that has been talked about a lot, is that what are they going to do with these potentially? Well, we already know that they're not supposedly at the moment they're not making Blade R-rated, but then again, Blade is something that's coming out in cinemas, so it's a bit different. It looks like, at least as far as we know at the moment, it looks like these are going to be shows. So Disney Star is the best place for them. The thing is that Disney Star, I don't think is available worldwide, is it? It's like it's different in different areas. So in America, I think you've just got Hulu. Is that right? Is it more like Hulu? Is the kind of R-rated?
Yep. And then in Canada, you have Disney Plus and Disney Plus Star.
Yeah.
But I mean, the multiverse is about to break open. So
yeah,
it could be just like one violent universe, and that's where all the Netflix characters are.
But the thing is that these new TV shows have really opened up the MCU. Like they can now afford to do things that are more grown up, more like even. I mean, I think they started pushing the boundaries a bit with some of these shows. There are some more kind of. It's not. None of these shows have been R-rated so far, but you can see that they're exploring more adult themes. You know, and there's. I think there's even some swearing in some of them and things like that, which I think it might have been Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I can't remember off the top of my head, but these things they're getting slightly darker. The MCU that like Phase 5 looks like it's going to be very dark anyway. So you've got Blade coming in, you've got Black Sword coming in, now like Kevin Feige basically saying that no matter what we do with the character, Daredevil will always be played by Charlie Cox. So that's as good as confirmation as any that that he is going to be playing Daredevil in the future. They won't bring back Daredevil and have it be a watered down version of the character. It's exactly what John Bernthal said. It's like I want to come back and play the character, but I'll only do it if they do it properly.
That's why the negotiations have been so tense between them. Before we continue, we just want to say, hey, Bobby, thank you for joining. Missed that comment there. Here's Bobby's nephew.
Yeah.
And who else we got here? Just joining us. Oh, yeah. Disney Plus and Hulu in the States, Bobby says. So, and Plum's in the house. He's also backstage, too. What's up, Plum?
Yeah. What's up, Plum?
Hi, Plum.
There he is. Hi, Plum.
What's up, Plum?
Hi, Plum.
Oh, your grandson, Bobby. Sorry about that. Your grandson. Prince Zodiac. This is. Did you notice that bulletin boards for Rogers musical are in the opening scene of Spider-Man No Way Home, but they aren't in older versions? You think they were added or removed? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. What
I did not know that.
The bulletin boards for Rogers the musical in the opening scene of Spider-Man No Way Home. I mean, they love
we'll find out next week.
We'll find out. But they love tying these things together, and the whole thing. I don't know if you've seen it, but did you? I saw this really good montage of Hawkeye, like the first episode of Hawkeye when Kate sees Hawkeye when she's a kid, and then they splice it together with what we saw in the Avengers, and it goes together perfectly. What they did, like all the actions that Clint Barton does in that scene is exactly what he does in Avengers. I really like that. So I'd find it a bit strange that they do that they literally just put something in that wasn't there before. But who knows? We haven't seen it yet. So
yeah,
right. Yeah. And we have multiverse. Hope your birthday was a blast, Edward.
Yeah. Well, I went to Disney.
Yeah.
I went to Disney to pick up my check.
From Kevin Feige.
Report
on Bob Chapek. Report on Bob Chapek.
Yeah, exactly. For all the Bob Chapek reporting. They love that. No, I've actually, you know what? I have some thoughts about Disneyland. So it's Disneyland Paris I went to, and I used to go a lot as a kid. Hey, it's just me. I want to get your guys' live reaction to this, right? So bring everyone else up, James. Don't just have me on.
No, it's story time, Edward.
Okay, well, so basically, I went to Disneyland Paris, and when I used to go there as a kid, you used to have these things where you'd be able to get a ticket, and then the ticket would tell you a time to come back in, so that you didn't have to queue as much. It was a way to bring down queues, and it was a great system. Well, now this time, in order to do that, you need to pay extra. So not only are you paying,
Wow.
yeah, not only are you paying about 80 euros, which it is over here, to go to Disneyland Paris, you have to pay on top of that 13 euros to just be able to do what they call Premier Access. It's actually called Premier Access. And I was like, this has got Bob Chapek written all over it. And no wonder people that go to the parks. I haven't been since, I think it was before, the last time I went, it was before my wedding, which was 2019. And when I went with Freddie, and Freddie at the time, and Robert, and Freddie at the time was working at Disney. So he managed to get us on the rides really easily.
Freddie the chef?
Freddie the chef, yes, he was working.
Burger.
Yeah, he was a chef at Disneyland Paris for a couple of months, that was pretty cool because we got to go into Disney for free, or I think it was free, and then got on to the rides before everybody else, which was really good fun. But I was just thinking, God, no wonder people are so angry with Bob Chapek, because this is definitely like the biggest money grabbing thing I could think of. I was like, they literally have this app where you go into it, and you have to, and it's like, when these are the times you can come back, pay your 13 euros on top of the 80 you've already paid for, on top of all the money you're probably spending in the park. I didn't spend any money in the park because Alessia and I, we made packed lunches before, because we were like, we know how expensive it is in Disney. It's just insane. It's an insane place to go to now, because it used to be a magical place, and I still like the rides, but now it's just a money grabbing place. It's like it's just annoying, because all this stuff used to be free, and
Disney wants to own everything. They need as much money as possible.
Yeah, it's that. Okay, Prince Zodiac says Fast Pass. It used to be called Fast Pass. Yeah, and now they call it Premier Access. It's just like, and not only that, so we got Premier Access for what's now called Hyperspace Mountain, which used to be Space Mountain, and then they've rethemed it to Star Wars. And we got past the queue, had to queue up anyway in front, for at least 5 minutes before you can get on the ride. So you pay to queue up 5 minutes rather than 45. And then before we literally were about to get on the ride, they go, "Oh no, guys, sorry, the ride's closed. It's broken. Here are some coupons for you to get back on." The ride didn't open up again that day, so they literally made me pay 13 euros to queue up for 5 minutes for a ride that was broken. Thankfully,
What?
yeah, thankfully I was able to talk to one of the people that was working there, and they gave me like a Premier Access pass for any ride in the park. But I didn't get to ride the best. I didn't get to go on the best ride in the park, which is Space Mountain. It's the best ride in the park. It's really annoying. It's just annoying, and I'm not gonna do the main park again for a while. Yeah. Yep, that's it.
Man. I've got a Disney story.
Go on.
Back in the old days, when I was a rock star, back in my past life, we played at the House of Blues. We sold out the House of Blues a couple times in Orlando, and we would walk around Disney World and stuff. But anyway, one night, somebody that worked at Disney World came to the show and was like, loved our band, and the radio station program director. They used to play us a lot in Orlando. And anyway, he introduced me to this lady and was like, "Hey, she really likes your band. And this is my friend, my hookup at Disney. And y'all talk." And so she basically said, "You guys want to come to Disney World tomorrow? My job is usually to show, famous people around the park. I'm going to be gone, but I can give you passes." Okay, cool. and it was really exciting because we get to go, and everywhere we went, we just went to the front of the line. So we did the entire Disney World. We just walk up to the front of the line, and we get to get on first. And we did. You were talking about Hyperspace Mountain. Back when it was Space Mountain, we did it 4 times in a row, and there was like an hour-long line to get on this thing. And every time we would just walk through the line really fast, kids were getting violently angry. They're like, "Who are you? Why do you get to go first?" They were little kids. They were pissed. They hated us.
Don't blame them.
Yeah, it was awesome. So we rode Space Mountain 4 times in a row. Super like, and we're like, oh man, we walked out of there. We're like, yeah, I don't think I could ride Space Mountain again. It was really fun. So after that, going to Disney World like a mortal is really tough. Like when you've done the whole Disney World in an hour and ridden everything you wanted to do in like an hour, and then all of a sudden you go out and you have to wait in line, it's not cool. So
Wow.
it was good times.
I think I can top that story, Clint.
Also,
oh geez, are we going to talk about Fantastic Four? Or are we going to talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League? Or are we going to talk about Spider-Man and Venom 3?
I will say real fast though, the coolest job I could think of, that girl told me about her job. She would be like, okay, hey, I'm going to entertain. One time she had George Lucas, but she would entertain like Madonna and her family, and they would go in the background and they would shut the ride down and say, hey, we have to do a quick maintenance test on the ride. So everybody stops and waits. They don't know that George Lucas or Madonna or John Travolta and his family, whoever, and her are leading them onto the ride. They do one test ride and then go off in the back and get on a golf cart and zip off to the next ride. And
maybe
then you sit down in your chair and you don't know that like Lady Gaga was just sitting there and you have no idea. That's how they do it with celebrities. And that was her job.
Clint, you said family.
Family, 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 family.
God.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact conversation I had with this girl, but she said that George Lucas had an answer for everything because he's the god of that universe. So she had a couple of examples, and she was like, "Well, how come when Luke was going through the trench, these things didn't get him?" And blah blah blah. She was pretty knowledgeable, and he's like, "Oh, because they were on break." What? Yeah, they were on break. She's like, it's his universe, so he can write the rules. So I thought that was pretty funny. So hey, what about that Fantastic Four news? or what's your story, Edward? I didn't mean to ramble on forever.
All right, I'll quickly tell you my story. James. Previous.
Call it, Sanchez, or you'll get a knuckle supper.
Oh, but bye, James. Previous job of mine, first ever job I had in journalism was here in Paris. I worked for a company called Melty. And one of the things they decided to do for a team building exercise was to take everyone in the company to Disneyland Paris, which was really cool. We were like, yeah, okay, that would be fun. We all got to go to Disneyland Paris for the day, and then at the end of the day, they said, at the end of the day, we'll have to meet at this meeting point, and they said, we've got a little surprise for you. What we've done is we've in the new park, so there are 2 parks in Disneyland Paris. There's Walt Disney Studios. There was the Aerosmith ride, which is now closed. It was really good. It used to be really good. They said, we've kept that ride open for you for 3 hours. So for 3 hours straight, we got to do literally what you did with Space Mountain, just go rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds again on that ride over and over again. So by the end of it, we were like, after about 2 hours, I think everyone was like, all right, that's enough of that ride. That's pretty cool. And they said, all right, we still got another surprise for you. We're keeping one of the hangars in the Walt Disney Studios open for you. And it was just a club for the whole night. And they just brought us food for the whole night. And it was the best experience I've ever had at Disney. Will be the best experience I've ever had. And it was all organized by one of the old companies I used to work for. I do not know how much they must have spent on that, I was thinking about that. I was trying to come up with a number with Alessia. It must have been like in like the 50 to 100,000 euros. Obviously, they'd rather spend that money on that rather than pay us better wages. But it was good fun. It was a lot of fun. And there you go. That was my Disney story.
Well, speaking of Aerosmith, check this out. Just kidding. Family.
Fantastic Four, they're a family, aren't they?
Yes.
Their mom.
No.
Oh, what's James? James is gone now. The minute I come in, he just leaves and then never comes back. It's
he got bored with the stories. I think he's ready to party now.
Just because, yeah. Well, I'm just glad Clint was here. Otherwise, I would have drowned. That's for sure. It would have been like the stream that was "Where in the World is Edward," where I just play a lot of awkward silence for laughs. Yeah. We got Raj coming in soon, Sil Abdul Inc. coming in soon, Mikey coming in soon, and Ty from Pop Culture Corner coming in soon, and Jedi EJ will be coming on soon. Family requested by H.A. Ray.
Family.
All right.
Speaking of Marvel's first family. Okay.
Family.
There you go, Zeus. There you go, Zeus. Oh. People are just wanting the family.
They love it. Well, speaking of Marvel's first family, did they actually release some casting news on that yet or not?
No.
Not yet.
But actually, how was Disney Canada? We don't have Disney Canada here, CB3. We have it's called Canada's Wonderland. And I have a funny story about that, but I'm not going to talk about it. It's been a long time since I've been there. Let's go, Snyder Nation. Welcome, George Woods. Yes. We'll be getting to Snyder very soon. So this is why I'm always behind the scenes. So I don't interrupt Clint. I can just do that with memes. Space Mountain.
Space Mountain is called Mountie Mountain in Canada.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Family.
And he's gone. Yes, all right. Talking about family, let's talk about Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four. So, the article went up a couple of days ago now about the cast for this upcoming Fantastic Four movie, which is being directed by John Watts, is going to be announced literally any day now. So we were told within the next coming weeks. So we're coming to the end of 2021, beginning of 2022. I think it'll be. I'm pretty sure it'll be in January time, January/February. But this is going to be. I was actually told that a lot of the actors that are potentially going to be cut, that have already been cast in this movie, won't be that well known. Will be mainly they were cast not on their name, but on whether they're good for the role or not, which is something that Marvel's been doing a lot recently. We see it with Echo in Hawkeye, for instance. I think that was for her first acting gig. I think the actor in there, and the same thing with the upcoming Miss Marvel series. So it seems as though Marvel is doing something I think very interesting with their casting. Oh yeah, and there's a nice little clip from a little screenshot from the MCU Fantastic Four movie cast announcement coming soon. What do you think about this, Clint?
I mean, I have faith in Disney's casting. They haven't done me wrong yet. I'm excited to see who it is. I think it's fun seeing people get pissed that Emily Blunt and John Krasinski are completely saying no to this, but it's funny to me. I'm just amused with people with crybabies. It just makes me laugh. So when people get mad that they didn't get it their way, like if Toby and Toby didn't show up and Garfield don't show up in the new Spider-Man, people are going to blow a gasket. You know what I mean? It would be hilarious. Well, with this, there's been a lot of casting news. Recently, I saw one. Somebody claimed it was somebody that said they worked on Ant-Man and they had inside information. It was like on 4chan or something, and they said that Seth Rogen was going to be Ben Grimm, Kristen Bell would be Sue Storm, Glenn Howerton would be Reed Richards, and Chase Stokes would be Johnny Storm. And I thought that was fun. The idea of Seth Rogen being Ben Grimm was pretty funny to me. But
Yeah,
I like
someone commented that on the Geekosity tweet.
Mm-hmm.
When we retweeted or covered that, and I was like, "What? Seth Rogen as Ben Grimm? No, he's Donkey Kong, man. He's Donkey Kong." I just wanted to say real quick, Shayla the Mouse, welcome. Doom, just read the books of Doom last night. That's a great series. I read that like 6 months ago when I was on Ed Brubaker binge. Absolutely fantastic, really good series.
Is that
And
a
we've
Doctor
got-
Doom series or
Yeah,
yeah?
the Book of Doom. It's basically a reporter interviewing him throughout the whole 4 books or 6 books, I think it was, and you really get into Doom's head and what Latveria is really like. Let me find this quick here.
Bat thirst.
And yeah, Eddie Gomez has a question. Surprise, surprise.
What? One second. I've got a light behind me that keeps on getting
Go
on and
ahead.
off.
Eddie, no, we don't have
No.
the names of the Fantastic Four cast yet. They are going to be mostly unknowns, and they will be announced soon. And Reese is correct. It's John Malkovich playing all of the Fantastic Four. I would see that. I would see that. And we also have... Do I have the clip here?
Go over there and hit the fucking like button. All right, you hit it now. You motherfucking hit the fucking like. I just told.
Welcome, Sil.
Hey.
Hey,
Make sure my mic's good. Let me see. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
good.
All right. I just want you to say that, Edward. What's up, Edward? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Clint, what's up?
What-
Clint, you
what's
haven't been returning
happening?
my message. I've been
I'm
messaging you like crazy, Clint.
shit! Sorry, dude. I've been off the grid.
Oh, you know how it feels now, Sil.
No, I
Oh.
still don't know. I don't.
I'm sorry, Sil. Dude, I've been putting my time into some voiceover stuff, and I just been super slammed lately. I'm
No, it's
sorry.
all good,
I'm
man.
not being rude, man. Love you, dude.
No, it's all love, Clint. But yeah, I need you, man. We'll talk later.
All right.
Awesome.
So what's
what are we
happening?
talking about right now? Yeah, what are we talking about right now?
We were talking about Fantastic Four, and Edward has the cast names for the entire. I'm just kidding. No, look, we're
And
just
we're
talking about
them again.
yeah. We're just talking about how crazy the internet is going. We're all chomping on the bit to see who's going to be the cast. You know?
Well, I mean, we know it's going to tie in pretty soon, right? John Watts, the director of No Way Home, right? And then Mikey Scoops
Baxter
was saying
Building.
the Baxter Building will be
Yeah.
at the end of we'll see by the end of the film, right? Next week. So something they got to be ready for something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
exciting.
I'm pretty sure this is going to happen relatively soon because this is their next big thing. Like this is John Watts is moving on to this now. This is going to be. I'm pretty sure that like the next phases of Marvel are going to be pretty interesting because I do wonder whether the Fantastic Four are going to be kind of the main. The main focus of the movies moving forward is going to be Fantastic Four and Spider-Man, and then all of the other things are going to be done on Disney Plus. And like then they're going to do an Avengers movie where everything is going to culminate, and you're going to see all of them come together. And I think that's how it's going to go. Like Blade is going to be a movie, but I do wonder whether, like, if they had time to reevaluate that and maybe not have cast someone as big as Mahershala Ali, as although he did do a Netflix Marvel show before, but they probably would have wanted to maybe make that a series. Actually,
Well, that was before he blew up, though. Mahershala Ali, he was in Luke Cage, right? And everyone fell in love with him in that series. That's why the second half of the first season of Luke Cage was trash because Mahershala Ali was not in it, right?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
now he's like this star. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, we got so there's this poll going on right now for the Phantom Awards 2021, and Sil is in the lead, and we gotta keep him in the lead. So vote for Sil Abdul. And so there's no competition here because small screen wasn't even added. No, because the guy probably doesn't. We don't always talk about Snyder. Just just when we have
Yeah,
something.
Yeah,
to
well,
plug.
yeah. You say, James, you say that, but in the guy's defense, he put John Campea in there. We all know how much he loves the Snyder
and Matt Jarbo.
And
Matt
Jarbo.
Well, I replied to it. Said, well, maybe put Small Screen Co in there next time. So, but this time, vote for Sil, and then next
vote
time,
for me.
vote for Sil and Small Screen at the same time. and
That
we'll tie
includes
it.
small screen,
Yes, again,
because as I said on my channel, my biggest video on Celebdo Inc. had Edward Lauder. That was the biggest video. So if y'all voting for me, y'all voting for small screen.
Well, everyone knows it's actually officially called Sil Abdul's Small Screen. It's the official name.
So it's Sil Abdul's Small Screen, Sil Abdul's Geekosity, Sil Abdul's Coffee Time. Still just owns
James Guy, Sil Abdul. And then we got the voice of Sil Abdul Clinton right here, like
Sil Abdul's Small Screen.
Like, I'm just showing up and laughing. They're doing all the work, all these guys.
That's the secret, man. Just laugh.
Exactly. They're like, oh, vote for this guy. He's funny.
It's like, fuck it, I mean.
Welcome, Plum and Raj.
How's it going, guys?
How we doing, gents?
Hello.
Hey, good to hear you guys. Good to see you.
Oh, my camera just went out of focus.
Before I forget, I want to shout
It's
out
gonna stay
Zeus
like
in the
that.
chat, Socks, Zodiac, shout out to Multiverse. And I'm not trying to take over the channel. Reese, everyone that said what's up to me when I came in. If I forgot, shout out to y'all. Please vote. All right.
Cool. Yeah, definitely vote for this guy.
Appreciate it.
Super Team Megaforce. You love to see it, don't you? It's amazing. Yeah, we've got Captain Britain. Yeah, we've got Captain Britain, Guy Smiley, Duke Ellington's Ghost. We've got the Canadian Mauler. Yeah, that's me on that Raj.
The Canadian Mauler. Where did the Canadian Mauler come from? Because Danzig called me that on Clint's show one night when I was walking around in my kitchen making food. Like, oh, we get to see the Canadian Mauler walk around. He's always in his chair.
It's from your professional wrestling career.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like, I know you. Yeah, you're a cool guy, but it does seem like you might have some dead bodies under your basement. You do have that,
James. I know it's like turn like one light on.
I refuse. Please like, subscribe, and quack that notification bell. If you're new here, that'd be great. Helps us make our videos and these live streams really.
What are with these likes? I need 20 more likes on this stream. I'm gonna block Mikey Sutton for coming on.
Yeah.
20 more likes. Let's go.
You're a funny guy, Sally. You're a funny guy, Sally.
Oops. I'm gonna message him now.
Double tap.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
More likes. Let's go.
Hey Edwin, how's it going? We got Edwin Pinoy Gamer in the house too.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
See what happens when you show up late, Edward.
Oh, you're secretly Pinoy Gamer, Edwin? I did not know that.
I am.
Wow. It's all revealed on small screen. Oh wow.
The secrets come out.
Yeah, Mikey Sutton's first appearance actually on YouTube was on small screen.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't mine. Oh man, I can't take that clout. Oh man.
No. Well, actually, I think it was Pop Culture Minefield, like the January
maybe.
before.
Yeah.
But after Geekosity launched in August 2020, it was small screen. The one-on-one, and then the week after we had the one-on-one with Sil.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was mad about it. I was mad at Edward for that. I was like, yeah, he got Mikey first. Yeah. We're cool now. I'm saying.
Well, you get him every week, so you could just relax still.
Well, I'm selfish, right? That's the
screen.
I hear I'm very selfish,
Sassy.
so yeah, that's why I live up to it.
Thanks for the support, Prince Zodiac. Appreciate the super chat. Oh yeah, Eddie Gomez is saying, do you think Sue is pregnant or not in Fantastic Four? Eddie, we don't know. We haven't read the script, and it all depends who's cast as well. So we'll let you know as soon as we find out.
What? Sassy?
Sassy, yeah, that's quite good. Maybe we should start a new another channel. Oh,
STMF Super Team Megaforce Sassy.
Sassy edition. What I think, what I will say to Eddie is that I think that they're casting very young, so this I think it'll be a younger not as young as Fan Four Stick or whatever the hell that was called, But towards 30, like 30 years old, but older than Spider-Man, but not as old as they were in the Fantastic Four movies with, was it Jessica Alba and that line, Chris Evans. I think
I watched that. I watched that last night. By the way, Spooky and I watched it last night because
before it left Disney Plus.
Well, no, actually, I have it, and we watched it because it is gone from Disney Plus, right? Already, they removed that, and
it's gone in the US. It's gone in the US. It's still available in Europe, and I think Canada actually is probably still available there. But yeah,
because I'm cutting the video on that report of the casting news, and I was like, well, I need to watch Fantastic Four, the original with Alba, and that I gotta say that scene where they make her take off her clothes to go through traffic across the bridge. But yet Reed Richards and Johnny Storm can just walk through the crowd right after and catch up with her. It didn't make any sense. I wonder if that was all Avi Arad.
Oh God, yeah, he was involved with that as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
God, I forgot about it.
Sounds like him.
But then what was it? Was it you, Clint, that was watching The Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Yep, last night. Last night. Yeah, I'm doing a show on it later.
Oh, really? I'm gonna rewatch all the Spider-Man theatrical before next week.
Last week we went over the OG first 3, and now we're going over the next 2, the Mark Webb.
Awesome.
We did the Raimi verse this week. We're doing the Webb verse, and then next week
check that out.
we're gonna be stoked.
Check out Clint's channel.
Woo!
So he can do more voiceovers for me.
Yeah.
So is that why, Clint? Is that why Dan's doing more voiceovers for small screen? Because Sills nicked you. Like this is literally what Sills does.
Sassy.
He comes over on the channel. He's like, "Who can I take this week? Oh,
yep.
There's a new guy called Clint. I like his voice."
Oh, he tried. Remember, he tried on Super Team Mega. I'm like, no, you took Mikey. Clint is ours. That's our custody battle.
First, that was behind the scenes when we talk about that, James. Like
No, it was live.
Dan's cheaper than I am. That's why he's been doing it.
I mean,
I did like the whole show. You remember, James? I was like, I'm gonna do the Mikey show. Then I'm gonna build a show with Clint.
Guys, we're getting way too sassy now even for sassy. So we just got to stop it. We got to stop it.
With the voiceovers, it's actually my discretion. It depends how busy people are. Edward moved, and then he went, and then it was his birthday, and Clint's been super busy with work and voiceovers.
He's been super busy
and with his channel too. But I do like, I'll try and coordinate with you guys. But if you're busy, I'll just be like, Plum, and you're like, yeah, and he gets it to me within an hour. I'm like, all right, we're good.
What we should do in the
Shots
future,
fired, Clint.
What we should do, Jan,
fastest voiceover in the West.
See you next time.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Yeah, you gotta put a little mustard on it, man.
You should do it a bit like this. You should do it like here. What's his name? See you next time.
What's that guy's name again?
Gilbert Godfrey. That guy like that, you know. He's
that's
like,
great.
From episode 1.
Are you trying to do Gilbert Gottfried?
Yeah,
Is that what that was?
I forgot that was his Gilbert Godfrey impression.
This is Gilbert Gottfried. Bungee jumping. Isn't that when you're in prison and you're taking a shower and you bend over to pick up the soap and everybody bungee jumps you?
That's not bad. You did the face and everything.
That's part of it. You gotta
really
look like you're in pain.
Yeah.
I'll actually be doing a voiceover this month for our Bob Chapek journey story. We'll be talking about a little kid named Bob Chapek and how he got to work at Disney.
Look forward to it.
How he ruined Disneyland.
We got Prince Zodiac here with Super Chat. Thanks for the support. Shouldn't Reed Richards and Sue Storm be black since Jonathan Majors is playing Kang?
No, they probably will be.
Variants, yo.
It depends what history they decide to give the Fantastic Four in Marvel when they Marvelize them for the MCU.
No matter what the case, it will be a diverse cast. So
that's what you're hearing, Edward?
Yeah, it definitely will be. So I mean, again, the casting process for this thing. Apparently, it's been really like someone's mic's getting a bit weird. Is that you, Clint?
I don't know.
No, that'd be Plum. Plum, throw your phone on your bed.
Is that
well, I might hit my dog. I'm gonna throw it on my couch.
Who cares?
TMI. No.
Yeah.
What? I have a dog. I got.
You was waiting like all month to play that.
All month.
He played that before. He
Played it
that
last
before.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah, just gotta
Call it, Sanchez, or you'll get a knuckle supper.
This is lost. This is lost all structure. It's completely. It's gone. It's completely gone. Yes, so Fantastic Four will be a relatively young, diverse cast.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, it's what John Watts is really good at. He's good at directing younger actors, and I'm pretty sure that's why they went with him over the guy that really wanted it, which was Peyton Reed. He desperately wanted it, and they just gave him Ant-Man 3. They're like, no, it's okay.
Quantumania.
Yeah.
Would you say John Watts is the 21st century John Hughes?
Yes, exactly. It's so much so he ripped off John Hughes in the first in the Homecoming. I mean, that the end of that movie is literally a John Hughes movie. Like when Spider-Man's jumping into the all the gardens and stuff, that's taken right out of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You can tell it's very inspired by
fair point,
John Hughes.
I've got a special clip for Syl here.
And I do think that moving forward, there's more opportunities for us to do things like this, and really.
Syl's gone. do things like what, Walter? Our Man 2.
He never finished that sentence, actually. If you think about it, he talked about things and he's never really answered that.
No. But before we get onto that, I do want to. Eddie Gomez has another question. So not Krasinski and Blunt. We did answer that before. No, they're not. They're not. They won't be in it. They're not touching this thing. And also, I think those talks broke down pretty quickly, and I think it was the only thing that really afterwards, I think maybe they looked at Krasinski to direct, but I mean, again, it's just that's fan casting, isn't it? It's like Krasinski and Blunt, and
and if you do that younger thing, Edward, like you're reporting, then you want them to grow into Spider-Man films. You want them to grow into the eventual crossover with Avengers. So it makes sense to go younger with the Fantastic Four.
Especially with Krasinski's career taken off the last 5 or 6 years with Jack Ryan and then directing The Quiet Place and Quiet Place 2.
Right.
I'm sure him and Emily Blunt sat down at the dinner table and talked long and hard about the MCU and them being tied down for another 10 years.
Exactly. So that's what it's going to take.
Yeah. It's no secret that both of them were very close to being cast in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, John Krasinski was almost Captain America. Emily Blunt, I think, basically was cast as Black Widow, but then I think there were scheduling conflicts.
She pulled out.
She pulled out. So I think that the MCU has passed them now, really, and they're doing other things.
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and
unless they show up as a variant in a quick cameo. I mean, that would be a cool nod.
But
I still want to see Chris Evans, Johnny Storm, meet the new Johnny Storm.
James, that's like a Secret Wars thing right there. If you could have Krasinski show up as an alternate Cap, a variant Cap, and then Emily as a variant Black Widow, that would be awesome. Like in a Secret
Chris
Wars.
Evans as Johnny Storm, from the first Fantastic Four. That'd be great.
May happen actually.
Also, but this is the thing that I think is actually quite interesting when you look at the difference between the MCU and what is now called the DC universe. Marvel has had a tendency, especially recently, to really just leave the big names to one side. I mean, I think that they have brought in some very well-known actors in the past. You literally got Robert Redford in one of the movies, one of the I think best actors to have ever lived. But
Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in Winter Soldier, and then nowadays you're seeing them literally cast people with you look at the TV shows. Echo is her first thing she's ever done as an actor. The same with the upcoming Miss Marvel series. DC has a tendency of really going for the big names. like the Ben Afflecks, the Jason Momoas, who, to be honest, I mean, probably wasn't the biggest name ever, but he's pretty well known.
Well,
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah. Dwayne Johnson. Yeah,
I give that credit to Zach because I'm supposed to do that live. I give credit to Zach for you and Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot, right?
Yeah.
They weren't big stars, and
they
Jason
were the
Momoa,
two.
that Game of Thrones were getting there.
They were the two.
But Gal Gadot was not. Gal Gadot was not a big star.
No,
and
you know what?
Henry Cavill was getting to that point, but wasn't quite well.
The trajectory was
known.
there.
Yeah. After Momoa's Hercules, no, it was Conan. Sorry, after his Conan, he was kind of fizzling a bit, and Justice League really brought him back.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I remember seeing Gal Gadot in Fast. What the hell's going on over here?
Things will never be the same because the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
There we go. Are you going to do God voice again, Clint? So,
what were you going to say, Raj?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that. I mean, Zack Snyder is a director. I mean, being a director, like one of the biggest things you need to have is having an eye for talent and being able to cast really well. And Zack Snyder does it amazingly. I would agree, Ed, in terms of going for the big names with MCU. I think the biggest problem DC has had with the clown table is that they've just been. You don't get success by chasing the trends. It just doesn't happen that way, and that's what DC have been doing.
You're right.
Yeah, and I mean, well, Bruce Lee's a great example, right? I mean, Bruce Lee was this megastar. He died really young. What happened? We had Bruceploitation movies. Everyone was looking for the next Bruce Lee. You had Bruce Lee, Bruce Jackson from Compton. It was just ridiculous. And the next Bruce Lee ended up being Jackie Chan, who was nothing like Bruce Lee.
Nothing like him, exactly.
Exactly.
Lightning in the bottle. You can't redo that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Even in Game of Death, they took a cardboard cutout of Bruce Lee's head, pasted it on a mirror, and then took the body double and made him sit behind it so they could pretend he was still in the movie. Yeah. And now we got, if Bruce Lee was still alive, all the Chuck Norris jokes would be about Bruce Lee.
Oh yeah,
true.
What do you want to know? Well, do you want to know one Chuck Norris fact? Bruce Lee kicked his ass, and that trumps all the Chuck Norris.
Bruce Lee trained him, of course.
That's foreshadowing Shang-Chi kicking Iron Fist's ass in Shang-Chi Part 2.
Yeah,
just throwing it out.
Better happen.
Man, I watched Shang-Chi and I was like, now all the Marvel, I didn't believe it before because you had Winter Soldier, you had even Infinity War and Endgame had different aesthetics, but they're all starting to look the same. Like I watched Shang-Chi. I was like, this is very Marvel. It's like it looks like Eternals. It looks like Black Widow. It just looks exactly the same now. So I went and watched the Suicide Squad afterwards. And say what you will about James Gunn's film, he took risks. And he put his own aesthetic on it. And then after that, I had to go watch Zack Snyder's Justice League again, just to cleanse my palate with some artistic. Like honestly, Shang-Chi was fun, but there's nothing. It's not bringing anything new to the table, experiment-wise for film. Yeah, it's just a formula.
Yeah, see,
I hope all Marvel movies aren't like that. They don't continue to just be this formula, because they kind of got away with it up until Endgame. Because it wasn't exactly like all the movies kind of looked different, but they still had that Marvel sheen. But now it's just a complete Marvel sheen. And I hope that they don't keep doing this. Do you guys think that they're going to keep doing that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I got the same feeling when I was watching Shang-Chi. I'm not a big Marvel guy, but I will watch the Marvel films when they're out there. But yeah, it did feel very Marvel-esque. I mean, I did get a lot of the jokes. The one issue I have with Marvel is that it always undercuts the most dramatic moments, the most heartfelt, tender moments with inappropriate jokes. It's just like, there's a time and place for it, but it's just like, really?
That's why Aquafina was there. She was there to keep that joke count going.
Exactly.
and the reactions with the reaction face.
Yeah, and that's what broke my heart with Eternals as well. And I actually have a couple of friends, really good actors that I work with, who were background dancers in the Eternals. The big Bollywood scene. They had a great time, and me being South Asian, the representation was fantastic. Because I'm like, I see people like me out in the mainstream, and it's not a joke, and they're not making fun of us, but it's done respectful. So I'll always praise it for that. But as a filmmaker and as a film fan, fan of Chloe Zhao. I mean, if you guys haven't seen The Rider or No Man Land, I recommend watching those films. She's fantastic.
Oh, she's an awesome creator. Chloe Zhao is like, it was hit or miss. Like, it's more missed for me with Eternals, but I learned to kind of accept it for what they were trying to do. Like, I just kind of like, okay, I'm not going to fight you about it. Like, it's, you know.
See, well, that's my problem. They didn't go far enough. Like, there was some nuance and depth there about, you basically had these godlike figures looking over humanity. They really should have pushed with that. You know, the fact is they're looking at humanity as a whole. Us, these foibled, imperfect apes, right? Violent, compassionate. That's humanity, right? They didn't do enough with that, you know, and it seemed like they were trying to play it both ways, where they wanted to have the marvelous jokes at the same time wanted to do something in depth,
more levity. And then Fastos, I thought that should have been the character they highlighted more, because he saw the evolution of humanity more than anyone. Fastos did, the character in Eternals, but he was just in there for like 40 minutes overall in the film. So
barely.
I still haven't seen it, but Kevin Feige said it was the greatest Marvel movie of all time, right?
Is that what he said?
So it wasn't. Who said it? Was it Feige? Edward knows.
It was Kevin Feige was really excited about it. But then again, I mean, I think Clint and I have a different opinion to you guys, the Eternals. I thought it was really good. Personally,
fantastic.
I honestly, I think maybe because I went in with slightly lower expectations because I heard all the negative reviews. So I was sat there thinking, I am really enjoying this. Like I get why people didn't like it to a certain extent. I do understand, but I didn't. At the end of it, I thought the performances were actually really good. I thought Richard Madden was really good in it. I really like Kit Harington as Black Knight. I think he's really good casting.
One of the best parts of the film. Kit Harington. He had like 20 minutes of screen time, but
he had very little screen time. But I thought I even liked the one that played. I just think it's hilarious that there's a character in it called Cersei. But and every other actor from Game of Thrones is in that movie. But I really enjoyed it, and I get why people didn't like it as much as probably they were hoping to when they first saw it. But maybe it was my lower expectations. I don't know.
Well, you know what? I mean, I did like it. I didn't dislike it. Sorry, it's just I was expecting so much more. You know, I was expecting.
I think that's why. I think its expectations were the problem.
Well, Kevin Feige shouldn't have said it was the best Marvel film of all time.
You're late.
Traffic.
Welcome, Mikey.
Well, you know, it's Filipino time, so
that was a perfect clip, James.
It was actually. Hello, Edwin. Is that you?
Yeah, it's me.
The Edwin. Some of the hottest articles on GeekOsityMag.com. Go ahead.
We got the whole small screen crew in here, and we got the whole Geekosity crew in here. All we need is Kieran. Yeah.
I know, right?
I'm so happy to be with the Filipino hero right now. I never thought this would happen. This is so cool. Yeah.
Mikey, that's the guy who keeps calling me Duke Ellington. This is the guy right here.
Oh, that's him. Okay, I was wondering where that came from.
I wanted
like
to move
Duke
my
Ellington.
square, but I accepted
it. Guys, just don't sell silver where I live. Don't give him my address. You know, I'm joking, but
a lot of shots.
Yeah. You know, it's out of love. You know, it's because
all love, man. All love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to say, guys.
Yeah.
Family.
We need 10 more likes.
Family.
10 more likes.
So we got a big crowd here today.
Yeah, we do. We got some more. Do you want to go through some of the questions, James, in the comments?
Yeah, sure. We got Cup of Malik in here. How's it going? Good to see you again.
Malik, what's up?
I got called Cup of
TJ,
Milk.
I see you. Yeah. I know. I call everybody different stuff. They accept it. I appreciate it.
There you go, Edward.
Krasinski come to the DCEU then. Oh, who would he play in the DCEU?
Batman, obviously.
Hal Jordan. Zeus said that.
Hal Jordan. That'd be great.
I would love that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it'd be pretty cool. But again, who was it a couple of years back? It was Tom Cruise that was always connected to that character.
Old Hal.
Hal.
He actually turned it down. They were going to kill him off in the first 20 minutes or so. Sounds like a Hamada burger to me.
Good choice, actually. Good job, Cruz.
Hamada burger.
How is this for a deep cut? How about the he can be the leader of Challengers of the Unknown, which was the prototype that Jack Kirby did for the FF. You want to have a Krasinski and something.
Oh my god!
But
I want to see champions versus defenders in Marvel.
Oh hell yeah, man!
what I wanna
Dude,
see.
that's a dream come true, man.
I think Krasinski would want to kind of make the cake himself, right? If he does something with
he'd
DC,
want to direct.
you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys said that because I was going to be the arsehole of the group and say I actually don't want him acting in DC. I'd actually like to see him direct a DC movie because I think he'd do a great job.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. No, sorry, go on.
No, I agree with you, Raj. I think that would be the best thing to do for him would be to direct. I think it's also probably what he's more interested in at the moment. I think directing for him is something that he likes doing probably more than acting. And I mean, again, he's if you've seen The Quiet Place Part 2, yeah, maybe you should direct Our Man.
Our Man. I would watch it. I would watch it.
I mean, yeah, a movie.
Yeah.
He's very good at those. A film that has like that kind of like weird concept about it. Like literally, A Quiet Place is all about a movie where you can't talk. What about a movie that is literally set in real time, just an hour long, all about Our Man? That'd be brilliant.
And at the end, he's like, "Oh shit!" and like it goes off.
Well, at this point, Our Man is probably better than James Gunn's Vigilante. So I'm sorry. That just burns me the wrong way.
Oh man, that
yeah. Honestly, like, I mean, we
for our sons of Vigilante, for us. My God.
Yeah, just let's
But maybe he's secretly badass, and it's just a trailer that's making him look like a goofball.
No, it's not.
No, James. No.
You never know.
I lost all hope. No.
That's a sinking ship that cannot be saved.
They ruined my boy.
We have a question. Do we have any update on Cavill still being the first choice as Captain Britain? Edward.
Edward, how do you feel about that question?
Yeah. Let's ask the British guy with a British question.
Are you talking about me? Not me or There's two of us now. There's two of us now.
Yeah, I'm not alone.
Yeah, don't worry, Ed. I got you back. We got to show these Americans what it's all about. Yeah.
Hey.
So does the whole world.
Don't forget us Canadians.
North Americans. We went North Americans.
Yeah, but I'm half Scottish though, so I just don't have any accent.
I'm half Mexican, so
yeah. He is as well.
It's diversity right here. That's all we need.
There you go, man.
Well, my heritage is Indian, so I guess we cover all four corners of the globe.
Yeah,
right?
we do.
Yeah. We should change this from Super Team Megaforce to the United Nations.
Hey, you slow down there, Rod.
There you
Slow
go.
down.
There you go.
You can't be coining stuff here now. Hold on now.
Sorry. I'll stay in my lane. Jesus Christ. Who the fuck is this guy dictating stuff? He's
coming here and dropping titles and shit. What's going on?
I know. That's it. James
All
is
right.
already.
Captain Britain, Edward.
I mean, we did post that a couple months ago, wasn't it? That Henry Cavill was meeting with Marvel about something. We were never actually told what it was about. It's just a lot of people assumed that it was Captain Britain. It's a bit of, I think that's a bit of fan casting, really. It's like people wishing that would happen. The thing is with Cavill is he's super busy. he's so incredibly busy, and it looks, I mean, as far as The Rock's concerned, it looks like he's going to be back as Superman. The guy's doing everything he can to make him be Superman again. So he's got another Superman movie, probably Black Adam 2. He'll be Superman in that. Then he'll probably do another Superman movie after that. Then he's got The Witcher, which he'll probably be in for 8 million seasons, as many as they'll do. And then they've got that he's got that other movie Argyle, which he's doing, which literally looks like his James Bond film, which I'm really excited to see.
Mass Effect. He's signed on to do that.
Mass Effect as well. So it's literally, the guy is too busy. Like if you do a Marvel, if you sign up to play a character like Captain Britain, you've got to be doing it for the next 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't think his schedule will allow it. And also I think he might be too expensive. Henry Cavill doesn't come cheap anymore. So.
Not anymore, right?
No. Well, I mean, I guess that's the reason he's not going to be playing James Bond either. Like, as much as he'd fit in, yeah, he's too busy. Like, I know that some of you guys come from like music and film. Like, I come from filmmaking myself, and I've actually got a film shoot tomorrow. I mean, I should, but no, you guys are keeping me up. It's fine. No, don't worry about it. I'll survive. Yeah, I'll blame you guys. That's it. But yeah, I mean, like being busy like that, like you can burn out, but like at the same time, you don't want to complain because you're grateful just for the work. And of course, Cavill is this amazing performer, and he's so popular. I think the one thing about him he doesn't get enough credit for, he really is a tremendous actor. Like, he's such a good performer. I really think so.
Yeah.
You know, they like because you always get these actors where they'll go, but he's the pretty boy. You know, he's just selling. He's just there because he's an A-list actor. He'll bring the women in, bring everyone in just for his looks. But no, he's really, really good. Like honestly, like the Man of Steel, you know, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Batman vs Superman, Ultimate. You really felt it. I mean, he was in this show about Henry VIII. It was on BBC Two in the UK.
The Tudors.
You know what I'm talking? The Tudors. That's the one. Yeah.
The Tudors, yeah.
He's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, he's incredible. He's incredible. Yeah.
But yeah, he's good in everything he's in. I think for me that my favorite Cavill performance, I'm gonna this is going to make some people here angry, but it's not in Man of Steel. It's not in Justice League. It's in Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah,
that's the movie that I just think he's incredible in that film. Yeah, and I noticed
amazing.
Yeah, and some people mentioned other things that he's in. Highlander is another thing that he signed on to, and he's also in Enola Holmes 2. They'll probably do a third one of that. So I don't think I know of any other actor in Hollywood right now that's busier than Henry Cavill. So scheduling would be a massive issue for him. Like Marvel won't want to have to schedule their Captain Britain like movie or whatever they do with that character around his ridiculous schedule. It'd just be impossible.
Yeah. So honestly, I think in the next couple of years he'll be on the level of like Will Smith and just all these other A-listers.
She-Hulk is coming to Disney Plus.
You've been joined by Kevin Feige.
Holy smokes!
It's a series about trying to navigate the world and be taken seriously as a working professional, despite the fact.
wondering what that was. I was like,
yeah, someone on their phone or something.
That she's well over 6'7".
Hey, She-Hulk's gonna be awesome, man.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm looking forward to that.
It's a very funny series.
Christmas 2024 will be a magical day. That's all I can say.
Yeah, that will be. That'll be.
2024.
I mean,
Mikey, it's too far in the future, Mikey. 2024.
Jesus. I just want to say it's a super day. That day.
Is that one? Okay, that's when it's dropping. Okay. That's still
See,
you heard it here first.
Mikey's got a ridiculous schedule as well of just scoop. He's got a calendar. It's like Christmas Day 2024.
This day I'll press this nuke. Like that's how Mikey operates.
I love the fact that 2019's finally caught up with me. Right?
It goes like in a 2-3 year cycle, right?
Yeah,
so yeah, 2024 sounds about right.
I'll tell you what, this global pan, I still think I'm in 2020 though. I've not. It's going to be 2022 next year. I've not processed it.
Oh,
Jesus
God.
Christ.
The day the world stood still, or the years the world stood still.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know everyone should just forget about 2020.
So the most important question is, who has their tickets a week from now for No Way Home?
Yo, so
And the Matrix.
I meant to put this on social media, but one of my viewers, they're in the local area, and they got me a ticket to because I didn't get the Thursday ticket.
Yeah,
and they have me a ticket for Spider-Man No Way Home.
Wow,
Thursday.
that's
yeah,
so royal treatment still. Royal
they sent me.
man.
They sent me the code and everything. Like it's all legit. And wow, I'll be there Thursday night. Yeah.
I hope it's legit.
3
It is
p.m.
legit. Yeah, I already got the. I printed it out.
I gotta move to I gotta move to France so I can get all these free tickets that Edward turns down all the time.
I did the whole
Well,
midnight wait in line for tickets. I was sitting there for 2 hours waiting when everything crashed. All this,
Right.
and I had my tickets ahead of time, like 12 minutes before midnight. I got in. I had my seat, and then at the last second, I realized, oh, I'm on the website, Alamo Drafthouse website, instead of on the app. And the app has my credit card saved. I'm just going to do this real quick, and I backed out, and I got kicked out, and everything shut down. Like I had my ticket. All I had to do was enter my credit card, and I ended up on the phone for like 3 hours after that. It was terrible.
Jeez.
True story. That's exciting, Clint.
I just hope the person next to me is not coughing. Okay, just not that I'm paranoid or anything, but I'm paranoid. Okay.
Just bring extra mask with you. Just bring some extra.
Yeah. I thought you meant Sil.
Oh.
He's right next to you.
I'll be out there for Spider-Man 4. I'll go watch that with Mikey.
I'll wear a Spider-Man mask or something.
What's going to happen when we watch Spider-Man No Way Home and Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire aren't in the movie?
Oh, that's
the world will end. I'll retire from social media.
I'll be firmly convinced that we are in another world. They transported somewhere where he doesn't exist. You know.
What do you mean we got out of the darkest timeline?
No, we are in the darkest timeline.
That would be the darkest
Yeah,
timeline.
That's why they're not in the movie.
Yeah.
That Avatar's the darkest timeline.
all I know, if that happens, all the other scoopers will go down with me. So
right. Oh yeah, everyone's going down with this.
You know what they're gonna do?
You're all targets, not me.
Everyone write all about it.
Yeah. We'll do it like a well shit. He was right the whole time. He's really not in it, you know.
That would be funny. Garfield be like, I'm trying to tell you guys.
I'm trying to tell you guys.
I'm trying to do my Tick Tick Boom movie. I'm trying to do this.
Yeah, like if you guys really want to see me, I'm on Netflix right now. Just go see that.
I was doing some research into like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. Apparently, he was fired as Spider-Man. Did you guys know this? He was fired. Sony fired him after the Amazing Spider-Man 2 because he didn't go to a meeting with executives.
Well, that was their excuse, but yeah.
What the hell? I was like, seriously? He wasn't the reason why your movie stank.
It was like a Spidey. Y'all remember that a couple years ago? It was like a Spider Council. Mikey, you remember what I'm talking about? It was right after
Spidey Council. That sounds like
it literally was.
We are the Spidey Council,
and they wanted Garfield there, and really they was discussing about teaming up with Feige. That was the whole point of that. But he didn't show up. He got fired. Yeah.
Was this before the Spidey Summit? They had a Spidey
Summit. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the one that was in January.
Everybody's going to rehab, Spidey rehab. You know, Sil. If Andrew Garfield is not in it, we're all going to be Spidey Council.
Oh man!
If Garfield's
firing all my sources if he's not in this film.
Yeah, there's
I think everyone. I think all the scoopers, all the entertainment news outlets are just going to be quiet for like 3 days. They're not going to report on anything.
It was a nice movie.
A moment of silence and flags will be half staff for all the scoopers out there.
Right. It'll be that deep.
I will blame it on Mephisto. Okay, if you Mephisto's
fault. If Mephisto ends up turning up in the movie and there's no Garfield,
and oh my god,
that'd be hilarious.
And Ralph Boner, and Ralph Boner. Those are the cameos.
Ralph Boner and then Garfield the cat. There's like just a shot, like a red cat, and he's got a collar that says Garfield. It's like, so then in the background, people realize that there's just a framed picture of Kevin Feige doing the middle finger.
Joke's on you! Joke's on you, Scoopers!
I don't know if you guys ever seen The Room. You know, in the movie The Room.
Oh, the Tommy Wiseau film, yeah.
The Tommy Wiseau movie.
Yeah.
There's a framed picture of a spoon, and it'll be in that vein.
So real quick, James, Edward, crew, I gotta run. I gotta meet with the Phantom Award committee about this whole situation. So I'm gonna do that. I'll stream all about it tomorrow. Good plug for Subdual Inc. Check it out tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Whatever I talk about tonight, we're gonna talk about it live. Are they giving me the award? It's gonna be physical award. It's gonna be an NFT. I don't know. Right? We'll see. But
awesome.
Have you won?
Massive congratulations for that. Well deserved.
Appreciate that.
It'll be a shout out on Twitter, right? Because it's a Twitter user who did the poll.
We'll see, because it's getting a little messy on social media. I don't know if people are following this situation, so I'll take a pat on the back at this point. And, we'll see what happens. But I gotta head on out because I gotta meet up with him now. So
all right, take care,
everyone. If y'all still alive and like a little later, I may pop back on. All right.
I'm very busy. What's going on?
There you go, The Room. I'm just looking at the numbers. Syl is way ahead, and then we've got John Campia down there with 16 votes.
See, but here's the thing: I don't think Campia or Robert Meyer Burnett knew of this vote.
Of course, they didn't.
No. If you pay him, he would have seen the post.
Yeah.
So you gotta give him a super chat for him to see there's a poll going on.
Yeah, can I ask you guys this question? Because I'm not like the whole YouTube thing is pretty new to me. But John Campia, like I don't know this guy, but I've watched a few of his stuff. I don't understand how he managed to get into this because he has like such a prickish demeanor about him. Like,
John Campia has been around for many years.
Right.
So John Campia was literally, I would say he was one of the first to do this kind of thing. He started off was he doing a show with AMC a long time ago? Then he ended up joining Collider, and he kind of started out like Collider's back when they were good. John Campia is actually, I mean, Clint and I think we both admire him somewhat because he is the OG kind of guy that talks about movies on the internet. He can be quite difficult to take sometimes because he has some rather strong opinions, and he does say some things sometimes that you think, John, should you really be saying this? He seems to get away with it though. But now he's got his own show, the John Campia Show, and it's doing all right. He does well. He's
Raj,
someone
just do what. Sorry, I was going to say, Raj, just do what I do. Just don't. I know I don't have time to watch them.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't really watch Campia. I know Clint watches Robert Meyer Burnett on Saturday nights. He actually did the theme song for Midnight Metal, which is pretty badass.
Midnight Metal.
But no, I just there's only a few select shows I can watch. But yeah, there's a whole network, a whole sphere of all these personalities and YouTube channels and stuff. But the only one you should really be watching is Small Screen and Syl Abdul. That's it. And also Pop Culture Corner too with Ty. Welcome.
What's going on, guys?
How's it going?
I was gonna say that was pretty extreme.
A good segue.
Yeah, it was a pretty extreme. Only these channels. I like it.
Well, I deal in absolutes.
Yes, he does.
And you can't say that only Siths deal in absolutes because Yoda says, "Do or do not." There's no try.
No, yeah,
that's an absolute.
Oh shit!
That is true.
What's up, Mikey?
Just
Long
showing
time
up
no
Yoda.
see.
I think he's got his mic muted. Mike's got his mic muted. Edward, Clint, Plum, Pinoy, Edwin, and Raj, meet Ty from Pulp Culture Corner.
Hi, Ty.
Hi, Ty.
Nice to meet you all.
Pleasure to meet you.
So what's on the docket? What's on the docket tonight?
I think the docket got thrown out the window.
Yeah,
I got a question.
Go on.
You want to answer? But my question is, I'm like, am I stupid? That's not the final question. Dan's like, yes. Move on. No, I'm trying to figure out, and I've been obsessed over this for the last few days. It's how you got Vulture in the Morbius trailer. It's been in there forever, but nobody really talks about it, and they act like he's not an MCU villain. He's in a Sony universe, but he's an MCU villain. And I'm like, is he just going to get banished in No Way Home and end up thrown through a portal, and that's how he's over there? How is he over there? That doesn't make sense to me. What also doesn't make sense is that nobody's talking about that or mentioning that. And I'm like, maybe it's just, it's Michael Keaton. He's allowed to be in every universe. He's in DC every universe too.
He's his own variant.
Well, he could be a different character from the multiverse. Like there's more than one of Michael Keaton. On different Earths, like the Marvel is Earth 616, right?
Yeah. Right.
And then there's different Earth numbers, so there could be variants.
I understand variants because I saw Loki. What I don't understand is why Sony would cast Michael Keaton to play a character that's not Vulture, or is it just a variant of Vulture?
He is Vulture.
Yeah. So why would he do that?
He is Vulture.
And then if so, then why is everybody quick to say that, oh, yeah, Spider-Man's the guy that can jump between universes and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, hey, dude, we've been seeing Michael Keaton over there for a year. We've been watching that trailer.
And you said last night, like J.K. Simmons too, right?
Yeah, J.K. Simmons is the same one from but he's got a different haircut. But I'm just kind of like, are they just going to merge universes?
He's a variant.
He's a variant. He is definitely a variant.
He's more like an Alex Jones type.
Yes, yeah. Like the actual, if you to watch like the original Spider-Man films again, like J. Jonah Jameson in those films it would never ever even dream of doing the shit that the J. Jonah Jameson's doing in No Way Home. He's actually the scene that is very interesting with his character is when the Green Goblin literally asks him to tell him who is the guy that's taking all the pictures of Spider-Man. He doesn't give up Peter Parker, even though he supposedly hates the guy. He doesn't give him up, so he's actually got journalistic integrity. He won't give up his sources, and
he's getting derailed though, because that's like I don't really care about J. Jonah Jameson. I'm talking about Michael Keaton.
Well, the main reason with Michael Keaton why no one's talking about it is because no one gives a shit about Morbius.
I'm like, or they're gonna, because it's gonna be good. I have a feeling that movie's gonna be good. But
I'm sorry, it's not gonna be good.
I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be good.
It's got Sony stink all over it. That movie.
I'm like, is it just so that they could they're gonna maybe portal him over there so that they could do Sinister Six on Sony? You know what I mean? Like,
if they're going to do anything, they're going to do Sinister Six, all about the evil version of the band Styx.
Yeah.
Well, I've got an add-on.
Adam Sandler is going to be their villain.
Well, you know what? I've got an add-on question to what Clint was saying, because, I mean, obviously we've got, Keaton, and we've got J.J. Jameson, we've got, we've got Jared Leto. They're all going in MCU films. We all know that Kevin Feige tends to keep his actors and performers busy. Mm-hmm. When they restore the Snyderverse, especially like with William Dafoe, I mean, is it going to be a chance where they can do both, or are they going to have to choose? Like, how is that going to work? I mean,
bat thirst.
They'll work it out with schedules and stuff. I think this is going to be the last time we see Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin, for instance. He will turn up in like the Aquaman movies and stuff like that, and as the character he's playing there. So with Jared Leto, I think now Morbius. It depends how well Morbius does. If Morbius tanks, then you won't see him again as Morbius.
I think Morbius takes place in like a pocket universe.
Yeah, probably.
Like,
isn't
potentially
part of the SMCU?
Yeah, because I mean, if you start looking at it, right, they have the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man in a PlayStation Spider-Man pose on the wall. Yeah. They have Vulture, references to Venom. It's like they threw everything, and they're like, let's see which one sticks.
Venom's supposed to be in it too.
Yeah.
There's mentioned by the director of Morbius. He talked about I have it saved in my phone somewhere, but he was talking about it's really exciting to go to work. Basically, you look at the call sheet and you see names like blah 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 blah. Tom Hardy. He mentioned that. You know what I mean? So Tom Hardy, even if it's just a post credit scene, maybe it'll be a thing like they did in
let's be honest though, the thing they did in Carnage makes no sense whatsoever, because the moment he supposedly goes into the multiverse is at the very end of Spider-Man: Far From Home. Why would it be then? It doesn't make sense.
It's probably
why?
when Doctor Strange does the spell.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
So they're still showing that clip of him on probably actually.
Yeah, I would say that.
And then they have the whole tower Statue of Liberty scene where it's like I can't hold them back.
Yeah,
you know.
And then that scene that you sent, James, that you sent into the Facebook chat, with that clip that was from TV. That's part of the same scene. You have J. Jonah Jameson up there saying blah 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 blah. You know?
Yeah, that's all the same scene. That's just a follow-on from.
So it's just all the same time. It's exactly when the spell rips the universe open.
No, because the spell would be done after that moment.
Yeah. The spell would be done after the reveal of his identity.
Yeah, so the spell, and I think it's quite some time because I think he, as far as I'm aware, I think he goes through the whole trial thing before.
Yeah, so Red Ranger, you're correct.
It's
They're
true.
like it's like the X-Men in the comics. They don't care about the continuity.
So, but I also think this is a problem for someone like Kevin Feige that really does care about continuity.
Well, also we don't know what point in time in Morbius when Michael Keaton shows up. So theoretically, he could be already in the MCU by the time he sees Michael Keaton, because they could do that flashing light thing at the. That could be a post-credit scene.
I think it might be, but he's also revealed that he's filming more Vulture scenes in that movie, isn't he? So I think they're. I honestly, the way Sony is, I think they're just making up as they go along. And they're like, and they're like, oh, actually, these scenes with Michael Keaton really are good. Let's just add more of them. Like,
oh God, yeah. Did you see that Amy Pascal with Kevin Feige interview? The way
she looks like she's trying out for Hocus Pocus too.
Mikey, when Plum was editing the Venom 3 scoop video, I said to him, take that clip of Amy Pascal and Kevin Feige and do a slow zoom in on her. It's comedy gold.
Scylla and I were watching that on the show. We could not stop laughing on the air. One of the funniest things I ever saw. Like, what is she on? You know,
dude, I felt bad for her. She looks so socially awkward. Like she's never been around people ever. Like,
from what I've heard,
she's it's only because of the hair, though, right? Sorry, Ty, but it's only because of the hair that gives impression. Because in other interviews, she seems pretty solid. As much
she
as
has the most awkward appearances with Kevin Feige, I swear. Whenever those two are together, it's always awkward, right? Gives her that
I don't think they like each other that much.
His face every time is so classic. Like
well, she threw a sandwich at him.
Yeah, she did. But also, the rumors are that, like, not even rumors. I think these are leaked in the Sony leaks a while back. People don't like her. Like they find her difficult to work with.
I think she's nice.
I think she looks quite nice, but she can't stop spoiling things.
Just kidding.
But I'm surprised she didn't get fired after all the Sony leak emails. Right?
Yes.
Bashing.
Sony kind of did because she's no longer actually with Sony. She's a producer in her own right. So she's these movies, these Spider-Man movies, are being produced. Actually, all of the Spider-Man. She's got obviously had a really good deal. Because she just left Sony, started up her own production company, and it's her production company that's producing these films.
And what Tom Rothman do? Did he just went to another studio, didn't he?
Yeah.
She made sure that she was going to be able to wiggle herself into that Spider-Man deal.
Yeah. So that's the only reason she's around. It's not because I don't think she's actually tied to Sony in any way. I think it's just her production company. And so Kevin Feige kind of has to work with her if he wants to do anything with Spider-Man. It's a shame.
Sometimes you have to make a deal with the devil.
Yeah, it's like Spider-Man has been.
Oh, Mephisto again. There you go, Mephisto. He's involved with all the
yeah, exactly. But I get the impression that Spider-Man has just been like had bad producer after bad producer involved. So what's that other guy's name? Avi
Arad.
Avi Arad.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He is so weird. That guy.
He was the president of Marvel for a long time for the movies.
when they were terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like, and then all those stories about that he originally wanted to make Dr. Octopus the same age as Peter Parker, and that there was going to be a love triangle between Peter Parker, MJ, and Dr. Octopus.
Oh my God, that's
that makes no like what 17-year-old doctors do you know?
Yeah,
that makes no sense whatsoever.
Doogie Howser.
Yeah,
Doogie Howser's Dr. Octopus.
Yeah, that would have been brilliant.
They should have just had a love triangle with Alfred Molina. What's the problem?
Yeah.
Is that weird?
Yeah, they're watching the show now, writing ideas now. So anyhow,
So, what do you guys think of Venom 3 being officially greenlit, or basically just Amy Pascal saying, "Yeah, we're working on it"?
I mean, if people are watching it, more power to them. I've not seen the second one yet.
I haven't seen any of them, to be honest.
Honestly, the second one starts and then ends. It's so weird. It's like the fastest movie I've ever watched.
That's what I've heard too from people.
It's so short. It's so there's barely any time for anything to really happen in that film, and there's just a lot of Tom Hardy being stupid, and it's really that the movie is just Tom Hardy talking to himself, being stupid, and messing up his apartment. And I'm already like, how the hell hasn't he been evicted? But he does all that shit to his apartment, and he's still living there, and he has a really nice apartment in San Francisco. And I'm like, that wouldn't happen in real life.
I still haven't seen it yet either.
It's all right. It's not great. It's fun to a certain extent.
What's up, Sam?
And just want to say thanks to Sam for the sub. Thank you very much.
Thank
if you guys are new here, please give us a like, sub, and whack that notification bell. And check out our videos that we work hard on. We've got quite a few up now.
I wanted to know if any of you guys saw Tom Holland being asked whether he was in Venom 3 or not.
Yeah, I did see that last night.
Yes, he got asked. Cinema Blend asked him, and he looked like he was going to have a heart attack.
Yeah. He said, why does this keep happening to me? Yeah.
So that's a yes.
Yeah. He's
Geekosity tweeted that out and said, small screen, Tom is having a hard time not confirming your scoop.
Yeah, that's so funny. He must be like, oh fuck this, I'm not going to do this anymore. It's just so annoying.
He's got to take lessons. He's got to take lessons from Andrew Garfield there on the Art of Denial, right?
But it's the other two that make it worse, because they're literally like, what's going on? And he's just like, I can't say anything. It's like, oh man, he doesn't hide it very well.
Avi kids love Venom. Erad. That's good.
Spider-Man 3.
Hey, Billy Roberts. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Billy Roberts.
Appreciate it. Thank you all.
Cool. Yeah.
What do we have for subs?
Sorry, go on.
Oh, here we go.
Family.
You joined our family.
Jesus Christ.
Well, you think that's bad, Ty? Here's one for you.
Oh my Lord.
There we go. It's the friend of the show, Vin Diesel. We'll get him on one day. And every
So that's Jesus, is that true? That's
if we ever get Vin Diesel on the show, we have to play that clip, the family clip, every time he tries to talk. just play that.
Dude,
see how long it lasts before he leaves.
I should Photoshop his heads on all these three characters.
Really, I never. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
But I haven't seen any of the Fast and Furious films.
Oh, they're dog shit, don't. That's horrible.
Yeah.
No,
Really?
They're not that bad.
No, seriously. No,
seriously.
Seriously. The first one is good. The rest of them, it goes downhill. Even DJ.
Aren't they fun though?
They're
I gave up at
They're like
5, 6, and 7 are fun.
Yeah, they're like turn your brain off, buy a greasy hot dog and watch. You know,
I'd have to disagree. I'm sorry.
Well, what are you comparing it to, Raj? Like we've had this discussion. Like these are
I'm
popcorn
not
movies.
saying that they're good by any means, but they're not bad.
I'm sorry, but the last one, and whoever was in the writers' room went, "Magnets is a fucking idiot." Because I was watching.
Spoiler alert.
That movie is awful, and I blame Clint for making me watch that. I was like, when you were like, Clint was like, "Hey, it's fine, it's fine." I was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm telling you, like that movie, I'll never get 2.5 hours of my life back.
Dude, you're like either that or Shawshank Redemption, and I was like, definitely watch F9.
No.
Shawshank,
How
man.
dare you,
Definitely.
sir? How dare you? It's terrible.
dare you,
Like,
sir.
Yeah, it's just like I'm sorry, but like a 3-foot Michelle Rodriguez trying to take on UFC champion Ronda Rousey. Like, I'm sorry, like a mechanic is going to take on this literal killer. Like, at what point are you going to say this isn't fun anymore? It's just stupid.
Was this before or after Ronda Rousey became overconfident and tried to take that boxer on and got owned?
Oh yeah, no, this is
I think
before
it's
Holly Holm
before.
knocked her out. This is before Holly Holm knocked her out. Yeah.
What I see as like dumb fun is like the Hobbs and Shaw movie. I see
was
that
great.
more as that more as being a fun time. Like the Fast and Furious films are just like stupid beyond belief. It's like they're not very well made. They make no sense. The acting in it is awful. Like, I'm sorry, if Vin Diesel, if he no, you've done this to me. I didn't even notice.
It's the rant.
No, but Vin Diesel can't act. He hasn't been in anything decent since was it Saving Private Ryan was the one, and he didn't have a single line in that movie. So maybe that's the best thing, to just have him be in a film and not give him a line.
Oh,
There
what
you
about
go.
Iron Giant?
Oh, actually, he was good in Iron Giant. I'll take that back. Yeah, and then give him three words to say. I am Groot, and you'll be all right. But it's like, honestly, that watching those films is arduous. It's like I'd rather put needles in my eyes than watch another bloody fantastic Fast and Furious movie. No, but actually, what I know that if it does feel like this is me kind of shitting all over Amber Heard, but I will say one thing about one thing about that nightmare sequence. One thing about the nightmare sequence
I'm not shitting on you.
She might shit on your bed first, though.
She's terrible in that scene. She's terrible in it. And what I will defeat all people. And then she's going around with 2 bloody boxes of water. I'm like, so you're only useful if you carry around 2 bloody boxes of water. That's the best bit was you in that, Mikey. your little comments.
We haven't talked about Amber Heard in so long now. Just like, wow, Amber Heard. I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, can I just say, as the second token Brit on this channel right now, yes, her accent is atrocious. It's terrible.
It's so bad. It's like it's so bad. It's like who made her do that? Unless it probably was her, actually. I don't know. She's like, I've spent some time in England and I know they talk like this. Fucking idiot. The only time she's spent in England is whenever she has to go to bloody court and come up with all the bullshit.
It's so true.
It is.
Shaking your head.
He's never coming on the show again.
I thought you meant go to court in front of the Queen.
Yeah, well, she tried that accent in front of the Queen. She'd be like, "Off with your head." Dear God, Amber Heard.
Mate, like honestly, like I think if you replaced her with oh God, what's the name?
Anybody else?
Yeah, well,
Literally anybody. Yeah. Just a girl off the street, just be like, "Do you want to be Mira?" Yeah,
Amelia Clark.
Amelia, I was about to say, thank you. You're psychic. I was just about to say the girl that played Cersei from Game of Thrones. Amelia Clark would be perfect in that role.
Yeah,
and Jason Momoa and Amelia Clark have great chemistry on screen. I don't know, like Amber Heard, like if you took her out of Zack Snyder's Justice League, I don't think the film would have suffered. I don't think it would have made a difference.
It wouldn't have made a difference.
That's a good segue to what we're going to talk about. The most talked about movies on Twitter was Zack Snyder's Justice League, and what was that? IMDb put out the top 10
Yeah.
movies of 2021, and Justice League was in the top 10 there.
It was number 5, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think their list. I mean, the minute I saw Mortal Kombat in second place, I was like, "What is
really?
this list?" Yes, it is.
Oh my
I was like, "What is this list?" Because Mortal Kombat is by no means the second best movie of 2021. It's probably the second worst, and I can't think of another film that's worse than Mortal Kombat. It was awful. Actually, no, Fast 9. There you go.
Not even. Red Notice.
Red Notice. There you go. There are 3 terrible movies that came out in 2021.
See, I would answer that is a dumb fun movie because you don't have to use your brain and you can enjoy it for what it is.
Well,
Fast and Furious. Yeah, but Fast and Furious is just stupid. I'm sorry. So.
I mean, I'm just getting very fed up of watching Ryan Reynolds be Ryan Reynolds in every movie he's ever in.
Yeah, but I mean, that's kind of his stick, though, right? I mean, like, he's good looking and funny. I mean, when do you ever see that?
There you go. Hey, Clint.
Hey. I was just looking at the IMDb most searched list.
So it's actually most searched, isn't it? It's not.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I think it is most searched. I think you're right. And I think if you who was it that retweeted that? You can find it somewhere. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was most searched because they had like the IMDb rating next to it, and the ratings didn't match up to where they were in the actual top 10 list. I think the Suicide Squad was in there, and that had a pretty decent rating.
I think it was the top.
Was it the top? Was it the top?
I remember, and I was like, "That's weird. That doesn't translate to that doesn't translate to movie."
Was it actually? Yeah, look up James Gunn because I think it was James Gunn that tweeted it. If you tweet it,
I forgot Mortal Kombat even came out. I mean, how long ago was that now? I mean,
it's like the Eternals. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I like the Eternals, so I'm gonna.
I know, but no one talks about it. Like after 2 days, it came out, and then no one talked about it.
Okay, here we go. June was number 1. June was number 1. It says top 10 movies of 2021.
I don't think that's the list, though.
So that's user popularity. So that's based on how popular the movie is. So Dune number 1, Suicide Squad number 2, Eternals number 3, Mortal Kombat number 4, Justice League, Zack Snyder Justice League number 5, Godzilla vs. Kong number 6, Black Widow number 7, Army of the Dead number 8, Cruella number 9, and Shang-Chi number 10. So, and then you got the numbers next to them. Where is it? Mortal Kombat 6.1 on. I think that's too high on IMDb. And then the worst one in the list is Zack. The worst rated one in this list is Army of the Dead. It's only got 5.8 on IMDb.
Damn.
Yeah, that's quite low actually. I'm quite surprised. I mean, I wouldn't have given it 5.8. It's very low.
What would you give F9?
Minus 10. Minus 9. There you go.
Family.
I thought that film was so bad. But are you? So, do you? What do you guys think? So, say anything. We're like, I'm the only one talking.
Have you guys been watching Hawkeye?
Yeah, we
talked about that earlier. It was that was my favorite episode of the series so far.
Episode 4.
Yeah, I've not had a chance to see it yet. No. Sorry, I don't want to diverge away from the conversation. I just want to say one thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right,
go ahead, Raj.
Yeah, jerk. I was just going to say. I mean, there's always been this thing right at the beginning when Zack Snyder's Justice League was released, and then for about a couple of weeks, you had your haters online saying, "Oh, it's just the fanboys and the Snyder cultists and blah blah blah." I'm looking online, and every time they're posting something about this film, the majority of the people are for it. Very few people are like, "Oh, there's no Snyderverse, there's no this, there's no that," and most people I talk to, they either love it or like it. I mean, very few people hate it. I mean,
was this Zack Snyder's Justice League?
That's right. I mean, this is
you're right.
This is a mainstream thing now, and this is for me, it's an amazing film. I mean, obviously, if it wasn't for the lot, I've watched it too many times. I won't say how many. It's embarrassing, but it's a lot. But yeah, I mean, this is like such an amazing film to me. I mean, the way when I watched this, I felt the same way watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, the same way I felt when I watched Lord of the Rings over 20 years ago as a kid in the cinema. And if it wasn't for Lord of the Rings, I don't know if I would have been a filmmaker.
God, it's been that long.
Yeah.
God, Lord of the Rings came out that long ago.
Bat thirst.
Okay.
That's how long the movie was. He was 20 years old.
Mikey's got to go. Anything you want to say before you go, Mikey?
GetCoffeeMag.com. Big day again tomorrow. We got more scoops than Baskin Robbins, and Edward Great Venom 3 scoop the other day. So.
Oh, thank you.
And it's interesting how Edward scoops like lead me to talk to insiders and end up getting other information, like new information. I'm like, oh, thanks, Edward. But like, belated happy birthday to you, Edward.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Mikey.
And since Cavill's so busy for Captain Britain, see, that means you can get the role now. So.
Yeah, that's exactly what that's the whole plan. That's the plan. My schedule is very open compared to Henry Cavill's.
Wow, what can I say?
And I'm taking up boxing, so hopefully I'll get into Cavill's shape as well. James has told me to do that, so I'm going to do it.
Good.
Great being here, guys. Dan, nice to see you. I've known Edwin for about 11 years now, or I don't know, been a long time. We've never talked before. Is this crazy? I've known your brother for like 30 years now, almost, for a long time. But James, always great to see you. Clint, Edward, of course. And Ty, great seeing you again.
Good to see you, Mikey.
It's a pleasure meeting you.
So, a week from now, we're all going to talk Spider-Man, right?
Yeah. Don't forget Plum, Mikey. My editing cohort. He's feeling bad right now.
No,
I said hi.
No, I'm cringing to the idea that like it's completely sold out in every theater in Toronto for over a week. Like,
wow,
that's good. Shit. That's good.
Like I'm not gonna be able to see it.
when you just fly down to my small town, and I bet you we'll get like a Sunday morning show.
Dan, it's okay. I'm not going to be able to see it until like either Saturday or Sunday. So
is that because of the whole Europe thing? Like they're doing it later?
They're
doing
it earlier.
They're doing it
earlier. They're doing it earlier.
It's the whole thing is it's my wife's birthday, so we're going off for 3 days. So literally on Wednesday when it comes out,
Plum almost did a spit take.
No, Edward, you gotta be like, babe, I gotta see Spider-Man.
I'm not married. I'd be like, we need to move your birthday to the weekend because we're gonna do Spider-Man.
This has happened 2 years in a row with it was the Rise of Skywalker, not the before when that came on her birthday.
See
as well.
that.
No, honestly, we ended up seeing that as well. We probably shouldn't have done. Oh well. Thank you very much, Mikey.
All right.
For coming on.
See you guys.
Thanks, Mikey.
Later, Mikey.
Bye, Mikey.
See you, Ty and Dan.
Bye, man.
Looking forward to the reunion for Super Team Mega Force.
Yes.
We
all are.
Again.
Super Team
First
Mega
week of
Force
January.
Assemble. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good day, guys.
Take care.
Enough talk.
All right. Enough talk. All right. Should we end the show there then?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
That's Ty.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you smoking right now?
No.
That's why your camera's off. Okay, my camera's about to go off. Why don't you tell us about your channel? What you do?
All right. Well, I mean, we like to talk about the things that we love. We like to talk about pop. I mean, obviously pop culture. It's in the name. But I set out to do because I for a long time in my life I wanted to go into like filmmaking, and it just didn't work out for whatever reason, and I was thinking for a long time, like, what can I do so that I still get not the best of both worlds, but I can still embed myself somehow into that like community. And I was watching a lot of YouTube shows, and I just thought that what I wanted to see wasn't being showcased by a lot of people. There wasn't enough variety. It was all either let's just talk about Zack Snyder, let's talk about Marvel only. So I wanted to kind of, do something that there was no boundary to it. And so we decided to do this, and so
Welcome
far
to
it's been
small screen.
Yeah, so far it's been really fun. I mean, you and I talked last night about finding your voice. We've been on for a little over a year, and we're still trying to find that voice. But so, we've made a lot of connections. Like for instance, we're talking about Spider-Man. I'm having on Marvel Studios editor Jeffrey Ford to break down Spider-Man with me, live from live from Showcase Cinemas. So we've had a tremendous amount of luck, if you want to call it luck, or it's just me being persistent, I suppose. But we've made a lot of friends, and I'm really happy that I can continue to network and continue to give a platform to people who otherwise wouldn't. So that's what we do.
Awesome.
Nice. So go subscribe. I'll throw the link in the channel right now.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, we interview people for film, people from TV, streaming now, I guess you want to call it that. Is there a difference? I don't know. What's been weighing on me a lot lately is so do you guys think that in whatever amount of years that it could be, do you think that we could potentially end up living in a world that theaters are few and far between?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the industry's in a state of flux anyway, and most streaming services is why filmmakers and creatives are going to make their stuff anyway. And most people would rather stay at home than spend £10 at the Odeon and go through all that.
But they said the same thing when color television and black and white TV came out in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah, they did.
They said, "Oh, this is going to kill theaters," and
I don't
it
think
became its own beast.
I don't think it will go away. I think there'll always be that communal spirit. Watching films with other people. That'll always be the appeal. That'll always be there. But streaming is here as well, and that has created new revenue, a new option for not just viewers, but for many creatives and filmmakers as well.
You know what I think a good idea could potentially be? So I have a couple different ideas on how I think theaters could adapt. My first idea was that maybe Netflix or Disney buy a chain of theaters. That way, if you have a subscription, you pay a little bit more, and you can just walk into a theater and watch the biggest movie that's on Disney Plus
That's
or
actually
Netflix.
a really good idea.
Right. And my second idea was that theaters somehow strike a deal with, for instance, when Game of Thrones was on, I would have loved to watch a finale of Game of Thrones in a theater.
The problem with that, though, is it's going to be monopolization even more so. And I think it would have to, look at what's going on with Warner Media and Discovery right now, and the FCC might block that. So they might.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So to buy the theaters would have to go through a lot of red tape. But Clint, what were you going to say about theaters streaming?
I was just going to say that streaming's taking over to the point that movies have been so important and such a big deal. Music was so important and such a big deal, and the way that it's being sold and packaged to people has changed, and all of a sudden records aren't a thing as much.
Yeah.
It's you got singles that are coming out. People still putting out records, they'll always will, but you can just buy a single. I think movies might change to where people think, you know what, instead of writing this movie, I might be able to make it into a TV series, and it turns into a streaming series. We're going to lose that. I think we're going to lose a lot of the there'll always be theaters, but I have a feeling it's going to be a big shift.
Go niche.
Yes,
well,
it's gonna. And another thing though that's gonna take take up some space is people consuming games. I think that people are going to get so immersed in VR and things like that that there's going to be storytelling where it's going to be a hybrid of playing a game and seeing a movie at the same time, and that you're in the middle of, and all of a sudden going to the theater is, and you don't always want to play a game. Sometimes you just want to veg, you know what I mean? And that's what movies are great.
You can also go to virtual theaters too and watch movies with people in VR, and even Fortnite's doing that. They had like concerts. Pokemon had a John Mayer concert or something. So they're doing concerts and video games now. I know.
I think that mixed with technology, mixed with VR and all that, and mixed with diseases and people being scared to go in public. I think all of those things are going to make it a lot more niche, and it's going to change what we're used to. And to us, we're like, no way, dude, you can't get rid of movies and stuff. But the world's changing in a weird way.
Yeah, we have to remember, so a couple of years ago, when I say a couple, I don't mean a couple like two, but a few years ago, studios saw the demand for these big blockbuster films, so the production budgets skyrocketed. Thus, a domino effect ends up, that's why ticket prices went up. But now, with 50% of the audience is gone, studios are either going to have to slash budgets, or the theater is going to get less money in return. And we're already seeing that happen. And then, with the Netflix idea is spend less money on a lot more movies. So the quality of movies is going to change.
Or series like Jupiter's Legacy.
Right. So I think if we don't
spend so much money on that series,
or Inhumans,
Inhumans.
If we don't get out and support movies that aren't Marvel movies or DC films, then we're gonna see a real shift in quality, and that's what worries me. That's why I don't say movie theaters will be gone. I don't think they ever will be, but I think there might not be one on every city.
Yeah, that kind of brings me to a point, and I was going to ask Edward this. I think I've talked to him about it before. Is do you think there's going to be I'll ask all you guys. Do you think there's going to be a renaissance for like the director-driven films? They're going to take more chances on these single films, like Nobody, and what was the one we were just talking about, Clint? A standalone film that we really liked. I can't remember right now, but they took it. Oh, Cop Shop. It'd be nice if they made more films like that. But because studios are just wanting to play it safe with known IPs and sequels, it's drowning out those independent films that could be blockbusters. Like Pig with Nicolas Cage was absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah,
that should have done a lot better. Yeah, what do you think, Edward? Because you cover this a lot on Small Screen, reporting on cinema chains and the closures due to COVID and the streaming. So I'm interested to see what you say.
I actually think it really depends on the area that you live in. For instance, France is a country. I always look at France, like how the differences between France and the UK is quite interesting. Like French are very protective of cinema, which means literally in Paris, there's a cinema at about every 4 minutes you walk down a road, you'll find a cinema. And that's why it's such a good place to live if you're a film fan, because they're everywhere. Whereas in the UK, it's very much, there are 2-3 chains now. I think Empire's completely gone now almost. So you have Odeon, Cineworld, and is there I can't even think of a third one. View. And they're the three big ones in the UK. It's not like that in France. And I think the problem that we have as far as movies, I think Spider-Man No Way Home is going to be a very interesting case study to see if it really does bring as many people as they're saying it's going to bring back to the cinema. I've been to the cinema lots and lots of times since this year, recently. They haven't been very full. I'm going to be honest about that. But then again, I have been to see House of Gucci and the new Pedro.
Fast 9.
Yeah, no, but not Fast 9. But I do think there is a desire that people have to go. They want to go out and see these movies on a big screen. Have the problem I think is that actually cinema chains they've decreased the experience to a certain extent, because especially when I'm gone to see movies in the UK, there are always problems with the with the projection, with the sound. There's something that's wrong. People are acting like idiots and they're not being told to stop.
Right.
I think it's very different here in France. It's not like that at all, which is why I love this country to a certain extent. But I think that's got to change. I think cinema chains have got to think about ways they can make the experiences better to make sure that people will go and see it. I do think I think Disney Plus is worrying for a lot of people because of what they're doing, what they did with Black Widow, what they did with Cruella. That is a massive, massive problem because those tentpole films are the films that people go to see at the cinemas in their droves. They are the films that cinema chains make their money from, apart from popcorn. But I don't see them going away anytime soon. I actually see the rise of more independent cinemas or cinemas that maybe slightly more expensive but give you a much better experience. And I think cinema chains, will actually really suffer. I think it's
the overhead is too much, eh?
Yeah, and they just don't offer the same experience. And I think people will just go to those to see, say, like a Spider-Man movie. They're like, okay, we'll go and see that at a cinema. But I mean, will they be able, like, if you're going to a cinema that has really comfortable seats, has a very good projection, serves one of the things in the UK, there's a chain called Everyman in the UK and they serve alcohol, and it's really it's a really cool place to go, and I think there'll be people that want to do that more. And
well, that's like Alamo Drafthouse, and they're expanding, right, Clint?
Yeah. Alamo Drafthouse is blown up, and there's one 5 minutes from my house. But it's great. You can get a movie, you can have dinner. They have good food. If there's somebody talking or on their phone or doing anything, you could put a card, and it looks like you're asking for another beer or something. You put a card in front of you, and there's people like the tennis ball boys that run across.
Yeah,
they'll run across, get the card, and you can say, yeah, I'll take another Guinness or whatever. but they can look at the card and say, hey, the guy behind me is talking nonstop, and they'll come warn them. And if they don't stop after that, they'll throw them out. So it's like. And so it's nice. So everybody that goes to those theaters knows they're going to get a quality experience. They're paying a little more, and the food is not cheap. It's good. It's good food, good drinks, but they're paying for the experience of enjoying their movie, and they know they're not going to have some jerk talking. And
drive-in saw a big increase over the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, my personal opinion as well. I think the content of the stories that are being told is going to play a big part of it as well. I mean, I'm not a movie snob at all. Like, MCU is not my thing, but I do watch it occasionally. But just the thing is with the streaming services is that it does allow more opportunity. Like, there's an independent filmmaker who lives in the same city as I do, made a feature film about 4 years ago. It's now on Netflix, you know. And like he was saying, that it was almost impossible for him to get it into any theater, even any art house independent cinema. But you managed to get it on Netflix, and you know, like, you can call me naive, but I do feel like what we had in the 70s, you know, where Hollywood was in trouble because they were just making such saturated stuff and musicals. Then we had Martin Scorsese, Brian De Palma, Spielberg, you know, all these great film directors coming in with amazing content, and you know, people just attached themselves into it and they loved it. And I do feel that we are in a state where that's more likely to happen.
I don't, Raj, I'm gonna have to say I wish for that renaissance, but I think after that decade of the 70s, of the director-driven decade, I don't think that if it's gonna happen, it's gonna have to be a bunch of like what the Image guys did when they all worked at Marvel and they went and made their own company. It's gonna have to be a bunch of powerful directors, independent directors, go make their own company, because the studios won't take chances on directors again, especially after Heaven's Gate. Michael Cimino, he like bankrupted United Artists, you know, and he was one of the leading directors of that decade.
Yeah, no, you know what, and I completely agree with you. I mean, in terms of the studio system, it's frustrating as a director, as a filmmaker, but I understand they're a business; they can't afford to take risks. They need to turn a profit. But I would say that, you know, with so many other competing forces out there, you know, the studio system will have to do something, you know, because, you know, they're in trouble because they're not the big cat in the jungle anymore. You know, there's so many other things they're competing with.
They're gonna have to adapt and try to weather the storm, get people excited somehow, some way, not just to see a movie, but to, like someone had said earlier, is to have that experience. Like, imagine watching like Endgame at home, and that moment, you know, it's very relatable for a lot of people. That's why I bring it up. When Captain America catches Thor's hammer, right? That moment is embedded in a lot of fans' minds as, you know, one of the greatest electric moments in Marvel history.
I wish I saw that in the theater.
Oh my
I didn't
God.
get a chance to see it in the theater. Yeah.
My theater turned into a soccer stadium. It was insane.
Oh yeah.
But it felt good.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the same. It was the same thing with like Harrison Ford returning in Force Awakens for me, and that was like a massive moment. And I also like recently, I think the most vivid experience I had at the cinema was seeing Dune on the big screen, and that's the kind of movie that's made for a big screen.
Agreed.
And actually, that's again Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is, you know, say what you will about them, they are a studio that has in the past been backing filmmakers nonstop.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
they
look
take
at the-
risks. Yeah.
Look at the top 10, right? I think Warner Brothers made like 6 of them.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, people do bash on Warner Brothers. I think it's more like the Snyder fandom.
Yeah, I think
right,
yeah.
including me. But Warner Brothers, like at the end of the day, they've been making movies for a long time, and they know what they're doing.
They also backed Snyder to begin with. Like,
I mean, I would. Sorry, no, go on, finish. Sorry.
Go on, Josh. That's all I was going to say.
Oh, did I spoil Endgame? I'm sorry.
Right. No, well, I was going to make 2 points. I think the fact that 2014 to the present day, I do think management did play a part in that. The fact you had someone like Kevin Shinjihara and you had like Toby Emmerich and these other people coming in who, you know, they pretty much shot themselves in the foot. You know, they couldn't get out of their own way. I mean, the recent Flash movie. I know that it was recently shot in England. I do have a couple of friends who are actually supporting artists, background extras on the film. They were telling me, they were like, "It's a fucking chaos." Like they were like, "What's going on here?" Well, they had like. Yeah, apparently, like it was completely disorganized. You know, the first AD wasn't really doing their job properly, and the first AD on a film set, they basically tell people to be on time. This is where we're doing. Everyone on set, quiet. You know, they're basically like air traffic control. You know,
yeah.
So they make sure
in most cases, I assume that they're the one actually directing.
Oh, they're not. They're not. No, they're just helping the director. They're not actually directing.
Yeah,
Plum wishes that. Plum wishes that.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, well, the other thing that I heard is that apparently Ezra Miller was coming in on set, and he was screaming till like 5 o'clock in the morning in his trailer, and just acting like a complete nutcase. And
fuck?
Yeah, he's a weird guy. Like a lot of people don't like working with him.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently, but I mean, you got to. It starts from the top down. So, I mean, clearly, I mean, if the studios are not keeping the control, well, they're just turning a blind eye to this kind of thing. Then what can you do? But the merger's happening, so it is what it is.
Well, if it is,
we know we don't know if it's going to happen now.
Does anyone have any light to shed on that situation? I mean, I'm feeling
on Ezra Miller.
No, on the merger.
On the merger.
Oh well. I mean, my sister, she works in the finance industry, and I was talking to her about this anyway in terms of merging companies, and it's always about assets. You know, it's always about acquiring assets and intellectual property, and you know, it's always a case where once a company takes over another one, it's usually one or two things: either the company's in trouble and they need to be saved from bankruptcy, or the parent company of one of the companies, they're sick and tired of them, and they want to pass on the responsibility to another company. You know, so essentially that's what the purpose of a merger. And I think it's like what we do as well. Like we want to work with the people we trust. We want to work with people that we like. So when this merger happens, they're not going to keep they're very unlikely to keep the old people. You know, it's going to be like, I want to work with people I trust. people I know can do the job and people that I like. You know, so
Yeah, but we'll see if the merger goes through, because the thing is, Disney was smart when they were going to do that, acquire Fox. They fired James Gunn when that controversy happened. They let it all settle down. The acquisition went through, then they rehired him. Warner Brothers has a lot of controversy surrounding them, and that's why everyone wants Zaslav to come in and clean the slate and clean house and put trust back in the filmmakers and the actors. But with that said, Clint, are you still there?
I
think he's gone, but
he's gone,
we should wrap up because Clint's got a show in half an hour. I'll throw it here.
How does he
make sure you go check out his show. Half an hour. He's doing his verses. Ty, where can we find you?
You can find me at on Twitter at pop_culture 2020. And that's really like my main focus of like where you can actually reach me. And then on YouTube, just pop !culture corner. Love to see some new faces. And everyone here, you're always welcome on. I love having discussions with new people and kind of getting fresh perspective.
Great.
Thank you.
Pinoy Video Gamer. Edwin, the chatty guy. Where can we find you?
So I have a YouTube channel where I post my video game gameplays and do a few reviews. And I'm also at geekositymag.com. So I write there for scoops and news, and I do also game reviews over there.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
And you help me, and Edwin's he helps me in the back end of the site a lot too.
Yeah,
so I appreciate that. Plum.
You can find the videos I edit on Small Screen CO on YouTube.
And we'll see him next time.
Hey, we'll see you next time.
You'll see me next time.
Clint, you got a show in half an hour.
I sure do. Over at youtube.com/Clint Baker channel. We're going to be talking about the Webverse, talking about the Garfield Spider-Man. So that should be a good time. We're doing the countdown, getting ready for a little Spider-Man No Way Home action coming soon. So we're just talking about all that stuff so we can have all of it fresh on the brain when the movie comes out. So this should be exciting.
Great. All right, Edward. Where can we find you, Edward?
In bed.
I have a particular set of skills.
Hi. You found me. This is me. Small screen. This is me.
Okay, great.
Yeah, this is fun.
All right, you can find me at 42cut.com and Small Screen Co. and geekositymag.com and a couple other things that will be announced soon.
Are you in the Batcave? Are you actually in the Batcave?
I'm in the Batcave.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Cool.
could be in your office right now, but I didn't set it up. Same with Clint. Your old office, version 1.0.
My old.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for coming on the show. Raj, Ty, Pinoy Video Gamer, Plum, Clint, Edward. Thanks for coming on your own show.
Yeah, eventually.
Family.
You guys stick around backstage if you want to also.
No, I'm not.
Oh man, Chuck, I'm sorry. You should have messaged me, brother. Oh, I was like, who am I forgetting? Oh, I'm so sorry, man.
He's so good. He's so good. He's so